We're back.
Corefish is back.
Corefish is finally
I was
back.
gone.
Who's this guy?
For a second.
Who is this guy? Is this guy a champion? I can't tell because he doesn't have a belt. He doesn't have a belt anywhere. But I have a belt. I am your current reigning, defending, longest reigning, history-making WolfPac Confidence Champion. Tomorrow marks 29 days. That will officially be the longest. And 2 extra weeks on top of that until Mania, until someone has a chance to take this off me. That will be 42 days. I counted.
WrestleMania is going to be an unbelievable packed show.
Yeah.
It's going to be a crazy amount of points to give away. And honestly, the confidence is going to be insane to predict.
It's going to be up in the air.
So we're going to go ahead and somewhere put it here where our standings are, where our who our team captains are, because we have a lot.
That's going to come up to play in 2 weeks.
Yeah, because
really big for everyone.
It looks like everyone's going to have at least maybe one captain represented.
At least.
Yeah.
Bianca might be getting snuck in there for Christian's female captain.
For sure.
Maybe.
You guys might have Theory and Waller.
Yeah, Theory and Waller for the tag team ladder match, so they got to go through their match this Friday. So yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. It's going to be a big cook. I'm not going to lie. So Corey, welcome back. How was your trip, man? How'd it go?
It was good. It was a long day. It was worth it. I got to meet some people.
We told everybody you were at a Pokemon.
Yeah, we thought you were at Pokemon.
Yeah, no. I went to a con in Kansas City. For some autographs for people that aren't coming to the West Coast anytime soon. So,
that's what you went. I see.
It was it was really packed actually. It was super packed.
I saw the snaps you sent.
It was really busy all over. Lines were insane. I think I waited like 2.5 hours for Charlie Hunnam. So Jax from Sons of Anarchy. That was well worth it. That was the first one that I went to. And then the other ones didn't really take nearly as long. Even Henry Winkler. I got to meet the Fawns.
The Fawns.
Wow.
So that was really cool. He was probably like my least favorite interaction though, to be honest.
Oh, really? He's over it.
Like moving on.
Yeah. That was why, is because he had such a long line, and I understood, but it was just like so quick that it wasn't like... It doesn't stick in my mind because it was just so quick. He just like signed real quick, and like we had like a quick interaction, and that was it. No. And Melissa Barrero is probably like up there on one of my favorite people that I met though. The older sister from Scream, the newer Scream trilogy.
Okay.
She was really nice. She took time with everyone, at least like 5 to 10 minutes with everyone, gave everyone a hug if they were comfortable. Like it was really good interaction. And then Charlie Hunnam was really cool also.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a good time. Kansas City barbecue is pretty insanely good.
I hear. Yeah.
I had to try it. I went to the spot that I got recommended by like 10 different people at least, including someone that I met in line that was apparently a judge for the annual like barbecue thing in Kansas City. Like he's owned like 10 different barbecue spots, and he's a judge. I just happenstance.
All right. And
he recommended this place that was like down the street from the convention center, and it was a good recommendation.
Nice.
Yeah. But it was a good weekend overall. Sad that I missed the last podcast, but I'm back. So
don't worry. Yeah. Confidence champion held it down. Yeah. Such is the duty of a workhorse. So
yeah, no, absolutely. So since the last 2 weeks, we've obviously had jam-packed wrestling. There's a lot that's going on.
So much.
Let's talk about it.
So much happening.
We're gonna kind of go into our quick thoughts before we jump into our Raw review of this week, our SmackDown review of this week,
and the recap for the league as well.
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. We'll recap the league before we go back into all of that. So we do have a plan here of what to talk about, but first and foremost, I mean, guys, we're getting 2 weeks from WrestleMania.
2 weeks.
How does this WrestleMania for you guys feel as anticipation?
I did not think they can make a bigger WrestleMania than last year.
No, it is.
That's
and it's turned out to be. It's turned out to be pretty crazy. They've done a ton of backstory building. Just building the hype, and it's hopefully it lives up to it. Yeah, hopefully it lives up to it. Like, yeah, I think every match that people have like said that's going to happen or anticipating is what's going to happen, and then also what's guaranteed to happen. Like everything is being built well. Nothing's getting lost on the wayside, and not that I can think of anyways. So I think this WrestleMania is going to be pretty primo, to be honest. And last year was a good bar too. So we'll see how.
Last year was a really high bar to really come back from, because there was a lot of emotions in that one, and I think people there was a lot of positive a lot of results that went people's ways that made them feel like, wow, like a positive WrestleMania. I do agree with you with the fact that going into these storylines and within these storylines, they feel credible. There's within a
everything
reason.
does. Yeah,
everything's within a reason. Everything's within a matter of yes, this is the way it needs to be, and they're sticking through to what they need to follow upon. It's just not tacked on together. There's reasonings behind it. So
even the matches, like the tag team showcase, quote unquote, this year, that would seem like a throw-off match, had a lot of story invested into it, like Miz and R-Truth.
It does seem kind of important, actually, which is a really nice.
There's more intertwining thoughts going.
There's so many side stories coming together in that one match that it makes it have a big match appeal, and actually important. So
it could even be that its unpredictability is its biggest strength.
Yeah, there's so much up in the air that it's really actually hard to predict accurately. So I think the game is going to be the league for WrestleMania. It's going to be such a
toss up.
Yeah, such a crazy time. It's not going to be like most of the other premium live events that we've had so far, because I don't think that there's going to be a lot of the same predictions for most of us.
No. Yeah, normally we have a lot of overlap in our game.
Yeah.
I mean, for what it's worth, we are able to see each other's predictions before we officially lock them in before the pay-per-view starts.
Right.
So there is a little bit of copy-paste, but I mean,
sometimes,
if it's good enough and it makes sense.
I mean, sometimes it's just the results is just, it is what it is.
It's just so predictable a lot of the time.
Is someone going to go through a table?
Roman's going to win.
No,
Roman's going to win. So. Rhea's going to retain. We know this.
A lot of the time, it's just really predictable. For at least if you've been watching wrestling for at least a decent amount of time, it's pretty predictable. Most storylines, anyways, because you're like, oh, this needs to carry over to Mania, or this needs to carry over to SummerSlam, or whatever it looks like at that time, or this person can't lose to this person because they need to lose to this other person.
Right.
So a lot of the time, it goes like that. So the league predictions are a lot more in line with what everyone thinks.
We're trying to think 3 months ahead, and it's just how does this result?
But with Mania, it's so in the air that it's going to be really interesting to see everyone's predictions.
No, sure. I've even done crazy things where it's like, hey guys, it's the last match. Everything's worth 100 points, because that's how big the moment's been. That's how big the rest of the energy of WrestleMania has allowed us to feel that it's on the spot decision of hey. Every result for this main event match, 100 points if you hit. So these things can change. I want it to be as unpredictable with the predictions as possible. I wanted the spots to be as unpredictable and out of left field, because we're just in some WWE within itself is just so unpredictable. We're getting to those
right now. Yeah,
we're getting to those. Oh shit moments, OMG moments. We're getting a lot more of those, and they're feeling
twists,
more.
Turns.
They're feeling more real. They're not feeling so scripted, and everything has reason.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to see a lot of long-term storylines.
Yeah.
Intertwine or hit or mix
for a really, really good fantasy league.
Exactly.
Having great captains mix for a good fantasy league.
Exactly. And we all have really good captains this year, in my opinion. Absolutely. We at least have one good captain.
Speaking
has at least
one.
On
that, let's go ahead. Just because on the merit that you have also mentioned that you're a confidence champion, and after tomorrow you will be the reigning and longest lasting.
Corey I think I'm on the same belt with same ship.
So because of the
interim,
extra month of of March not having a single pay-per-view, there's no defense. It's a guaranteed 31 days.
Yeah.
Plus it's a leap year. So that's 5 days from February 24th. So we're both sitting at 23 right now.
Yeah.
So those two will have shattered the record.
The longest reigns.
But our point standings are here. So Corey, you're obviously first. O is right behind you at 12-19. Devin is at 11-69 as our confidence champ. Kevin's 11-21. Christian's 1104, and I'm sitting at 1001. I just played it too safe. Even though I'm creating a lot of these things, it's what's like. I don't know. I don't.
You also had a couple predictions that were kind of out of left field.
You always have
a couple times.
No, I know because it's like if they hit,
it would be big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's like maybe
exactly.
it's so weird because like I think I didn't predict Nia. I don't think any of us predicted Nia to use a table. Actually, or Nia or Rhea to use a table, and then they used the table.
Yeah.
So it's just like so
it's little things like that you're like, no, that shouldn't happen, and then it does, and then you're like, well, shit. But like with the points that you just read off, it's anyone's game. Like,
and it's gonna be
Mania.
Crazy.
Mania is gonna be the point in the year where it creates such a big gap, though. In my opinion, I think so
because everybody is going to get double points.
Yeah. Double points for captains.
Some captains
double points
are
for
going to win
captains.
titles.
Like, oh man. So
we know some
who
people
has someone? Doesn't someone have Rhea?
No, that was last year.
No,
that was me. I had Rhea and Seth last year.
I'm trying to remember who has someone that's supposed to win a big championship this year.
Drew. Kevin has Drew.
Kevin has Drew.
And maybe he has Bailey. If Bailey wins.
That's another big one too. Bailey again, bro. Again.
You guys, like, I mean, it's either Miz and Truth. And Christian gets double points for the tag belts.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He gets extra points for winning the tag belts.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because the title.
You guys could get extra points for winning the tag belts. You guys as captains.
Oh, yeah, Theory and Waller.
They might split the belt.
That would be crazy.
They might split the belt.
Yeah.
Miz and Truth on Raw. Get the Raw belts,
and then Theory Waller on
Theory
SmackDown.
Waller. Like Truth gets the belts, and he's like, "We won," and then Miz is like, "No, you only got the Raw belts."
Oh yeah.
And the match has to keep going, and then Theory and Waller get the SmackDown.
That's a good twist.
Yeah, people have been talking about splitting the belts, but I think they haven't been talking about how the belts get split, and that's what makes sense.
Because of R-Truth.
Because R-Truth only gets the Raw belts.
Yeah.
He thinks it's over. He climbs down the ladder.
They both pulled.
I mean,
a belt down at the same time.
I mean, it's such an R-Truth moment that actually makes a lot of sense. To be honest,
I shouldn't have said that. I should have kept it.
Yeah, you should have kept it. Yeah, confidence points.
No,
bro.
for sure. And that one, like, because of 12 men, that one's gonna be everywhere when it comes to the predictions in terms of spots, in terms of.
And I hate that AOP's not going to be in it.
No, I know, because who's going to catch these guys first off?
So, I mean, you've got AOP that's going to come in and screw over Profits next week. And
you know what's funny, and I wanted to mention it, is I think that Street Profits AOP is the best thing they've done in the whole feud. That match was actually the best part of that feud.
It was all right. It was a roll-up mean finish.
No, for sure.
3 qualifier matches, by the way.
Dawkins was cooking, though.
3 qualifier matches have ended shoddy. Grayson Waller, in theory, got the dirty pin.
Yes.
Yep.
And then we were watching for Monday, Miz and Truth got like a roll-up win or whatever.
They got a roll-up,
Yep.
On Indusure, yeah.
Oh, Indusure, that's right, because he...
Yeah.
Yep.
He just rolled
R-Truth
him up,
is...
Three qualifier matches for this tag match have ended in BS.
I don't know. Which I don't think is indicative of anything. I just think it's just the way they book. R-Truth has to win.
I guess the Profits, I should say, the Profits technically haven't qualified yet.
No, because they have for whatever reason they had a tournament, but Raw just had straight qualifiers. It's really weird.
It is.
I think they'll probably add Karrion Kross's faction versus AOP, or Karrion Kross and AOP versus Bobby's faction.
If you feel like that, if they do interfere, then I think that next Friday they'll have to announce it.
That's the road they're going down.
Unless they're like the big main event of the Friday leading beforehand, which is what I still think they are. I don't think they're Mania worthy, but I think they can let the other big stars rest by having those guys have the big match on SmackDown before Mania.
It's crazy that I don't know. They really don't want to put Street Profits versus AOP in that ladder match. Like, that's a big storyline. Not big, but it could be big and could be compounded on by being in the tag match. In the ladder match.
I feel like if you do that, you can have Street Profits win, and then if you have Grayson Waller and Theory as your SmackDown champs, that's a good first program for them to go into.
That's an excellent point.
So, and maybe even Logan retains, so then Lashley goes after Logan, and then there's 3 guys right there, 3 versus 3. So
I think we're booking it. All right.
Right.
And that's the thing. That's the unpredictability about it. This is what I'm talking about. This is where you can literally go on a myriad of roads, and they can all make sense. Mm-hmm. But because it is Backlash, I think a lot of stuff gets run back. So we can definitely predict till the cows come home, but we can't ever tell until the show's done. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the very truth of it.
But let's just jump into Raw. So,
absolutely.
Raw, we saw Jay and Jimmy come face to face. They told each other, or Jay told Jimmy that he missed him, if I remember correctly, right?
He's like,
Something like that.
Yeah, we could see family again.
Yeah, he's
and
like,
then,
everything that you've done is because I've allowed you to.
And then
what Jimmy said.
Eventually, they started fighting. Jay had the upper hand for a little bit, and then Solo came in. Of course, the 2-on-1, that whole thing happens, and then Cody makes the save, and Jimmy and Solo just leave after that. So, I mean, I thought it was a good segment. It was brother against brother. It was really obvious that it was going to happen eventually, and it's good that it's happening at Mania, in my opinion, because I think both of them need the chance to shine outside of their respective, like, well, I guess Jimmy more so outside of the Bloodline storyline that's still going on. So it'll be a good showcase. I think both of them can put on a good match with each other, especially because they know each other so well. Obviously,
no, for sure.
Brothers, so
Jimmy definitely needs his own
he does
run.
He needs his chance to shine.
He called
finally.
Jay out. You went and left to go to Raw. You won the tag belts without me.
So, no, for sure. And I don't think it's been announced for this Raw, but I do feel like we'll have the tag before Mania with these four.
Cody and Jay
versus Jimmy and Solo.
Cody's just involved in so much. It's so
Cody's got right now.
If we were to think about it, so was Austin.
Well, yeah.
So was The Rock.
Yeah,
people would
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense because like
and
Jay has been with them since since pretty much day one.
They're good. Well, they are tag team champions, and they had a party afterwards. We had a qualifying match where DIY defeated Creed Brothers, which I thought was a pretty good match.
I thought it was. I like the Creed Brothers.
Ciampa had a roll up on one of the Creeds after they went for their.
It was on Julius. Because Brutus went for the Brutus bomb. Yeah.
So I guess that's if your finisher
there was
it's pretty easy to
Julius.
know who you
Julius
are.
did his spot where he had I think Gargano. No, he had Ciampa in the ankle lock, and then he was gonna hit Gargano with the one-armed not suplex powerbomb.
Yeah.
But he slipped, and he was able to fix it and like catch Gargano at the last second.
Yeah.
Like the guy's a pro. The Creeds are pros.
I like the Creeds. I think that they're going to be good in the long run. They just need.
Julius is the one that they're. I know that.
I mean, everyone's high on Julius, but I think Brutus is actually pretty good.
When they have some of those backstage skits, it's Brutus that steals it.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got more personality to him. Yeah.
That's the issue. Like, Julius really doesn't have like as big a personality as Brutus. But I think Julius is great in the ring.
He's the default. He's the default definition of what they want. So they're going to build him. And
I mean, but we've been saying that with Montez. Like, comparatively, like, we've been saying with that about Montez. Like, Montez better in the ring, plus better on the mic. I think, like, at least a little bit. He edges out Dawkins. Dawkins is actually pretty good.
But he was cooking yesterday.
And he's actually gotten a lot better in the ring, too. But, like, comparatively, like, Creeds versus... I compare them to the Street Profits situation. Like, everyone's high on Julius, but everyone was high on Montez. Montez had his, Elimination Chamber match, and that was really it. And then nothing since. He's been just relegated back to the tag team. So
I think next year's the year for Creeds.
Yeah, I think they eventually should win the championship because they're a really solid tag team. Another brother, like, set of brothers that can do really well because they know each other.
Guys,
so...
I don't want to sound stupid, but do you think we should have a Money in the Bank for tag teams?
That is.
I mean, there are so many tag teams that
they've done Elimination Chamber tag team.
For Elimination Chamber.
It would have to be like. It would have to be instead.
I mean,
of like the singles.
I think there would be like two.
Yeah.
There would be two on the night, and one would be for a women's singles.
I don't like this. I don't like this anymore. I don't like this.
No, it's okay. It's only, and I'm only thinking because it's like.
I was gonna say before that even happened, we need a women's mid card title.
And if they're gonna introduce anything,
it has to be a women's mid card title.
Do something.
There's just so many women on the roster that they need a mid-card title.
I'm frustrated, and I literally mentioned here in our notes at one point, for ROH, they introduced a mid-card women's title.
Did they?
It's the women's television title. It's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, exactly what we were talking about,
and they're hosting a tournament.
Wrong promotion.
Exactly, and I'm like, for a promotion that's not getting as many eyes, unfortunately, because of where they're at with their partnership with AEW, yes, we have so many women. I'm not surprised the fact that we're not having something here at WrestleMania that designates that
there's a mid card. Yeah, it needs to happen eventually. Like I don't know what they're waiting on. They have so much talent right now that it's the opportunity for it at the moment because their roster's so stacked.
How do you propel it? Like is this someone that can actually go on all 3 brands and defend it, unlike the 2 world champs?
I think, unfortunately, like it has to be just the 2 main rosters.
Yeah.
It can't be. I don't think NXT can be involved with it at the moment because like that needs to stay the developmental if they're not going to integrate it more with like Survivor Series like they did a few years ago. Like back then it would have made sense.
Well, that was a mistake that ended up working for themselves.
Yeah. So, but like back then it could have worked like that to where the champion could have defended all 3. But I think in this situation it needs to just be the main 2 rosters. And unfortunately I'm going to say this, like the only person I could see if they did introduce it would be Jade Cargill.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I don't, as much as I don't like that because she did it in AEW, it's the exact same thing. No, it's not because of her. It's because she did it already.
Yeah.
Like that's why I don't like it. But I think it wouldn't have to be her. It couldn't be a veteran because that's too predictable. Like whenever they introduce a new title, it could be Tiffany too, I guess. So like Tiffany or Jade. Well, Tiffany, I think
the inaugural match needs to be.
It needs to be Tiffany
versus Jade.
It does.
Jade wins.
It has to. I don't know. Tiffany could win because
I actually see.
That needs to be like a lifelong feud kind of thing between them that defines both their careers.
I actually would go on the line that Jade would defeat a Bianca Belair-esque
to go to the finals.
No, in the finals because I could see semis in theory working because you beat a name beforehand, but I also like beating the name in the final.
Yeah, I mean the only problem with that is like. It's kind of predictable at that point.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't think that the veteran would win over the person that they're pushing to the moon, basically. At least if you watch for a while like we have, at least I would think it would be predictable for the new person to win. I think if 2 new people go against each other in the finals, it's that much more of a toss-up and that much more exciting.
Exactly.
I get that.
Yeah.
But I get
Jade Bianca is something they want to do down the line for like a Mania.
Yeah. But that could be for the title down the line.
No,
I don't think it needs to be for like the inaugural title. It should be 2 newer people like Tiffany and Jade, especially because people are so high on Tiffany at the moment.
No, it's crazy.
It's crazy how astronomical her.
She needs to be at Mania. She needs to have a big Barbie entrance.
Yeah. 100%.
And she needs to come and her real life Ken doll needs to be with her Kaiser. Needs to walk in. And then we'll have the baby face turn of Ludwig Kaiser.
Well,
into association.
Leaves Gunther.
But yeah,
takes it from Gunther.
I think there could be there's a lot that could be said for just the women's roster in general. But
a women's mid-card,
let's jump back to
sure.
Raw. So we saw Judgment Day attempting to recruit Andrade actually.
Yeah, he was listening.
And he was attentive and listening. I don't know if I like the addition. Andrade is I don't know.
Judgment Day is the Bullet Club, NWO. This is the modern day.
Yeah. I see.
They're just not as quick at recruiting as those.
Because I don't think they want to. I don't think they want to burn the memberships out.
Yeah.
And I think each member should have a significance.
I mean, Andrade
knows.
I'm an Andrade stan. I don't know if he meshes with them, but he could because they're there's more mouthpieces for him. Because he's more comfortable speaking in Spanish, obviously, still. So I think it could work because of that. He could be like the silent enforcer for them, kind of.
But I mean, is that not
the technical person?
Is that not the? Maybe he should just join the LWO. I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, that's the obvious.
Is that him and Zelina?
I think that's why he's
go back to Zelina.
That's why he's at the Judgment Days, because he wants to infiltrate for Ray. To check on his son, Dom.
Possibly.
Well, the fact that Dom... Okay, well, so, I was allowing to let it stick that, this is a Raw feud.
Yeah.
And let it finish. Then Dom showed up on SmackDown.
On SmackDown, yeah.
And so now it just throws more pieces because it's like, does Andrade show up to SmackDown to have a talk with Ray about Dom? And then does that include him into LWO? Because that's the thing that now puts a monkey in this wrench is that, I don't know where to simply stick Andrade in his path because while I like him joining Judgment Day because he does have a knowledge with Dom and Balor.
Yeah,
I'd love to see Balor and him tag team up.
Yeah, that would be great.
I feel like LWO is like a more natural place for him to be.
I mean,
maybe as a leader, maybe Ray retires.
Yeah, and then Andrade takes over. Yeah. I mean, it makes a lot of sense for him to join LWO. Okay. I like him in Judgment Day simply for the fact that he does have like the history with Finn. He has knowledge of Dom, and then also he has mouthpieces. Ray, like if he joins LWO, the only issue is like if Ray retires, their only mouthpiece is really Zelina. At that point,
that's okay.
Because the other two aren't really like. They haven't really gotten a chance to be active on the mic, so maybe they've gotten better in their like promo classes or like practice, whatever. Yeah.
They're okay.
Yeah, but like they need a mouthpiece, obviously, and it would have to default to Zelina when Ray retires.
Hawking's pretty good from his Zima Ion dates in TNA.
Yeah,
he's actually not that bad once they do give him time.
Yeah,
and I know that Raul Mendoza is more like quiet. But I think this is a very interesting thing, and like I said, the Dom showing up on SmackDown just adds more like compelling pieces to this because it doesn't allow this to just be very straightforward.
Yeah.
There's more layers to this than we're looking at.
Yeah. So, and then they also Damian and Bria ran down JD's failure to win the gauntlet match. Yeah, he lost to Ricochet. So they kind of ripped into him. So
they made appointed Dom as the man to finish the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, go get him, Dom.
Like later in the show, that's what we get is Dom versus Ricochet. But before that, we saw Indy and Candice LeRae beat Kaden and Katana.
This was brutal.
And it was because of
match.
Candice's just brutality, her new mean streak, the mean pixie. the evil pixie.
Taking advantage of Katana Chance's injured knee, slamming it against the ring post, putting her in
half Boston crab,
half Boston crab, and no remorse whatsoever, as they mentioned.
And Indy was like, what is happening
Indy
right now?
cannot believe her eyes.
Candice
is under some sort of spell. Hopefully we'll get something to that, like recognize what her deal is.
We were talking about this like right as we walked in, like, but we'll reiterate it for this conversation's sake. Is like, what do you guys think about Indy turning more heel with Candice? Like, when does that happen? Does it happen? Does Devin threw out something? I think it was Devin. He threw out something that he was like, maybe Maxine goes over.
It was
you. It was Joel. So he's like, maybe Maxine listens to Candice and turns heel and joins her rather than staying with Alpha Academy. Like, there's so much that could happen with the Candice thing, and I think it's really good for her because she's been really underutilized.
Oh, for sure.
And she's great in the ring. So
underutilized female wrestlers like Candice is for you.
Speaking of underutilized female wrestlers, what about the Unholy Union, Isla Dawn and Alba Fire? Do they have Candice under a spell? Can we see Candice join the Unholy Union?
Well, because right now I think they are specifically Raw and SmackDown, they have not shown any indication of merging. It would be absolutely crazy to know that Candice this whole time was literally
under their spell.
Yeah. And then she just joins them.
That would be a really big swerve.
I would love to see,
kind of crazy, especially because that would take Candice away from Johnny though. Like, that's the thing is like,
she's already
away from him because she's doing her own thing.
Well, she's on SmackDown and they're on Raw.
Oh yeah,
they're
also she's turning heel in their faces.
I would love to see Hila and Alba return Nikki Cross.
I would love to see Nikki come back.
She was supposed to come back with her old like crazy like
she is back. She is back. If she's on main event 2K24. She's got her gimmick
as the
back.
Crazy One.
She's got her gimmick.
Oh, really?
She might be on main event. I'm not too sure.
Her animation's totally different.
Sure.
She's got it back, but she's been sidelined. She's been staring off into space in battle royale matches, doing nothing.
Getting eliminated,
and then continuing to stare, doing nothing.
So after that segment, we actually had. Let us know how you feel about this Indy and Candice.
Yeah. What happens with Indy and Candice?
What direction do you guys think it's going?
Yeah, go for it. Ricochet defeated Dom.
Yep.
Despite Ricochet. The fact that JD was out there with them. This obviously was, as you mentioned before, set up because Dom was told to finish the job that JD could not. It also looks like on the preview for next week that JD and Ricochet are running it back to, considering that their match was part of the gauntlet. And I think now it's more of a singles match.
Yeah.
I know both matches are singles matches, but it's just how it's positioned. I thought it was a good match. Ricochet's also just lacking. I don't know where he's going, man. I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of running through Judgment Day is for him. because he's not anywhere on the tag team ladder match. And there's
joining LWO. Is he getting drafted to SmackDown after this WrestleMania season and joining LWO?
I mean, there could be a draft.
I don't know. Maybe he just maybe he needs to be put back in NXT. Unfortunately, but I think he could help elevate a lot of the storylines there, like a lot of the single stars. Could. I think that might be the move for him for the time being because he doesn't have Braun to tag with like he did before. I thought they were a great tag team in my opinion because like you had the High Flyer and then you had the Powerhouse, which always is a great mixture of like for a tag team. Especially
that
those
was
two.
The last time he was relevant.
Yeah. So like that's especially with the fact that the Intercontinental title scene is so tied up with Sammy, Chad, and Gunther at the moment. Like he can't be inserted into that. Maybe the U.S. title scene again, but I don't know. I feel like
he lost to Logan Paul already, so I don't know.
But by cheating, that's the way that he could get inserted back in is because he didn't lose legitimately to Logan.
Enhancement talent.
Yeah, unfortunately. But that's why he needs to go back to NXT. I think he could do great there, and he could have really good matches with like.
I don't know, brother.
He had came back. He did a run with Carmelo, if I remember correctly.
He needs to fix his
mic
work.
He did.
He needs to fix his mic work is all.
I don't know. I think he's great on the mic.
I don't think he's that great on the mic. He's got shaky voice. He's got shaky voice.
He seems uncertain
of himself.
Or like what he's, I think, or what he's emoting.
Like
he doesn't believe it.
He is what they want us to believe Sammy is. Like I know Sammy is like in actuality is pretty confident in himself.
Speaking of, we have the WrestleMania contract of Sammy and Gunther.
Yeah. Going into that, yeah. So, Sammy runs into Chad backstage.
He runs into him beforehand.
Yep, backstage before the segment.
And he noticed that Gable was acting a little TO'd with him. And he's asking him, "What's up, bro? What's going on?"
Yeah.
And Gable just says,
"It just means more to me. It just means more to me."
Which angers
Sammy. Sammy tells him like it means more to everybody, dude. We've all been. My family has watched me lose in front of Roman Reigns.
Well, and he told Sammy that he couldn't win. Like he couldn't beat.
He just couldn't beat Gunther.
There was a lot with that backstage segment.
So then we have the contract signing where basically Gunther tells him the same thing, like you can't beat me.
Thing. Yep.
Sammy says that he believes in himself, and he says that he's going to be the man that'll defeat Gunther.
I don't think it happens.
I don't think it happens.
I don't believe in it. It was.
Sammy gains nothing from it.
It's so out of left field, in my opinion. Like
Gunther's not losing it for at least another 3 months. August 31st is Bash in Berlin.
Yeah.
First pay-per-view they've ever done in Germany.
True.
Is that where Ludwig takes it?
That is where something crazy happens.
That's where he gets a title shot. I actually think he might get a world title shot there.
Like against Drew?
Against Roman.
That's too much. Wait, Gunther?
At Berlin.
With the World Heavyweight title still?
Wait, what?
With him with the IC belt, he gets a title.
The IC belt, my bad.
Wait, why against Roman? That's SmackDown and Raw.
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah, well, it would be Drew.
I think that they might.
And it would make sense because they're both European.
I was thinking, thinking that like they would.
Sure.
But I was thinking that like he could be the babyface against Roman.
I mean, Drew's kind of an anti-hero at the moment.
I think Gunther should beat Drew and be World Heavyweight and IC title.
That's absolutely nuts.
Oh, man.
And then he can lose his IC title but still be World Heavyweight champion.
He could lose his world title to Damian cashing in.
Not so Gunther.
Why?
I don't know.
He doesn't need 2 titles.
He could lose his IC title to Damian.
If Drew's gonna lose that belt to anybody, it might as well be somebody like powerful and somebody who's never faced. I mean, not never faced. Sorry, my bad. But somebody powerful like Gunther who's beaten him before.
Sure.
Gunther beat Drew with Sheamus on the side.
Sure, but then Damian has to cash in on Gunther.
Damon's not gonna have the Money in the Bank by then.
I think he'll still have it. I don't think
after Money in the Bank. I'm talking about after Money in the Bank.
Is it after?
It's a year.
No. Bash in Berlin is August 31st.
Oh, so it's after Money.
It's after Money in the Bank.
Okay.
We'll have somebody
else. Then he won't
else.
have it then.
We'll have somebody else. I have no idea what they're doing to Damian.
He has like 3 months.
Damian's
theoretically.
He has.
Damian's fucked.
Yeah, he has 3 months.
He has no out.
I think he just.
He has no out.
I mean, does he do it at Mania then and cashes in on Drew and then Gunther faces Damian?
No, I want to see Drew. I want to see Drew.
I think
Drew with this belt, bro.
He deserves it.
I think
he deserves it.
He doesn't deserve it. He earned it.
He has earned it. I think we get a ploy of Seth's cash in from WrestleMania 31.
Sure, triple threat.
Where he makes it. in mid-match.
And then he loses?
That's what I booked, bro.
And
that's what I booked. I booked Damian, Seth, Gunther in 2K24.
And Gunther. What?
Sorry, not Gunther.
Damian, Seth, and Drew.
Drew. And then Drew ends up winning anyway.
Yeah.
We get the kind of shock, like almost pin on Seth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he hits his South of Heaven. And it's the 1, 2.
And Seth takes out.
Drew.
And then Drew.
Drew is like. This is literally Drew in max mode where he's like. Drew picks him up. Yeah. Claymore's in. Seth's rolled out. He's whatever. And that's it. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And then he pins him. And
he pins Damian to win the championship. Damian. Okay.
So Seth doesn't get pinned.
Sure.
Oh, man.
There's just so much that, like we said, like.
But then how does that make Seth mad for screwing over Cody? I guess it could just be losing the belt in general.
Yeah, just losing the belt in general.
Because it's like, his spotlight.
Yeah. So
next
we have Awesome Truth against Indashir.
Where they defeated Indashir.
Hold on.
R-Truth.
Sorry. I do want to mention there was an amazing segue in between both these segments where Sami Zayn walked away from Gunther out of the ring.
Oh,
and the camera followed him all the way backstage.
Yeah, all the way through.
He walked past DIY and R-Truth and Miz.
Yeah.
And then after Sami walked by them, it started to focus on the tag team segment. And Miz.
I remember that actually.
Yeah, and Miz is like, see, DIY already qualified. Now you and me gotta qualify. Yeah. And Indashir walks up behind him, and R-Truth is like, whoa, I feel sorry whoever has to fight those guys. One of them's really hairy. But the camera kept following them all the way from that segment.
I remember that actually.
To the ring, and they did the whole entrance, they did the rap and everything. The remix.
I like that wrestlers are now like friends with each other.
Yeah.
In the back, like DIY.
It's a whole universe.
And, like they're just chilling.
You got to experience what it's like backstage.
Yeah, it makes sense because they're
really. It reminds me.
A stage hand.
I haven't I haven't played a lot of 2K24, but games like 2K11 and 2K10 for sure. There were a lot of backstage walking around, and you would encounter like
random people. Just
you'd encounter.
They do that
now.
Michelle. You don't walk around like in a free roam mode, but there are like multiple people you can talk to.
I probably like in my universe or whatever.
My universe. My rise. It's wherever you had to create someone that goes up, and you would go backstage and you would encounter somebody, and then you'd be like, "You want to tag with me?"
Yeah.
So that's how it feels now, and it's really like
real life feels like a video.
Right.
So Awesome Truth wins.
Yeah, we saw R-Truth getting elbowed and falling into the pin, and he was just kind of shocked with it because Miz had to like tell him
that they won.
Yeah, that they won. So this is what we predicted like a while back. Actually, like after Royal Rumble, I believe was R-Truth and Miz getting into Mania for the tag team titles. Absolutely. So it's still going that route. We'll see if it
Christian
happens.
Is guaranteed his double points because Miz is participating.
I mean, sure,
you guys might be guaranteed double points
Maybe.
if Grayson Waller, in theory, can pick up the dub against Profits.
Crazy.
Liv Morgan needs to find herself in a match
That's
somehow,
not gonna happen.
but it's not going to happen.
Over. She wasn't on Raw at all.
I want more points. Okay,
she's
all right,
done.
all right. I just want more points.
But she can go lose the NXT title.
She can lose.
You know what? Cry about it. Okay. So we have another tag team qualifying match. New Day against Alpha Academy. So Xavier Woods hits his elbow drop on Tozawa. To get the final Raw spot in the six-pack match.
So there are 2 empty spots reserved for SmackDown. That's going to be the bracket between Waller and Theory and AOP.
Then the main event was...
Oh, I was going to say, it makes sense for Alpha Academy to lose that. Tozawa to be in the match rather than Gable because of Gable trying to be into the Intercontinental match. So.
I think we'll get Gable Sammy before Mania.
Backlash. Yeah. Gable Sammy at Backlash.
I'm thinking even before Mania.
Like Raw before.
Just to kind of
before Mania.
So Gable can like slap him and be like, "You got to be better."
I told you can't beat him. Gable beats Sammy.
Exactly.
Oh, Gable beats Sammy.
Yeah, Gable.
So something like that.
Has to make him like snap to be like, "You have to be better than what you are right now."
Yeah. And then we did have in the main event Becky Lynch against Nia Jax in a last woman standing match. I thought this was actually a pretty good match. It was actually pretty good for what it was, to be honest.
This is okay. We get the drop from the ladder on the commentary desk. But I think overall this is what Becky Lynch needed going into her challenge.
It definitely made it look really strong. So that was the good thing about this match. So
it's been a while since we've seen a stipulation main event, a weekly show. So
And then at the end of the match, so like after the match, Rhea came out and she had a stare down with Becky Lynch. So
until the end of the show. So a lot of like adding points to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
This is what the show
was.
was.
And like we were talking about, like they're just building and building and building and building like constantly towards these Mania matches, and it makes everything feel important. So I think it's really good that they're doing this.
So next week on Raw, we are going to have the return of CM Punk in
Chicago.
You can't have WrestleMania in Philadelphia without Phil.
Exactly. That's what I was telling Corey. We have Ivy Nile. So in the backstage segment, we had Candice go up to Maxine, apologize, but not apologizing. Basically apologizing for not having said it earlier, I think is what she had said. But she basically kept degrading her, try to beat her down, and then Ivy Nile made the save. So we'll have Ivy and Candice next week on the singles.
And then Andrade finally back in action.
He was in action against Cedric a couple weeks ago, wasn't he? We don't talk about that one?
We don't talk about that one.
But anyways,
he's back in action again.
And then Ricochet
against
and
someone that they haven't announced, and then Ricochet and JD, like you said. So
they'll have a rematch. So that's next week's Raw. So no mention of anything in regards to Cody or anything like that. So maybe...
Which is... I guess it makes sense because it should be on SmackDown because Roman's on SmackDown. So
No, Cody did his promo. We didn't talk about his promo.
And there's a Seth promo too with Drew.
You guys forgot about that?
You totally took that out, brother. All right, that's not our notes. We apologize. Let's talk about the insane Seth Rollins promo because that happened.
Because didn't he build character build in this?
Seth Rollins is at the peak of his career. This is the craziest promo I've ever seen, and it explains the reason why Seth Rollins is going to be betraying Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. It's because he's a spotlight junkie.
Yeah, it's exactly what I said before we started. He's addicted to it. So
best work I've ever seen in my life. He needs the fix. He told Drew that he might find out at Mania he's not good enough. And I think we're all going to find out that Drew is absolutely good enough.
Yeah.
We'll move over to the Cody Rhodes promo.
That's him and Paul Heyman, right?
That is where, he got to fire back and say some big boy words at Rock.
He did.
He's got little dick syndrome. He's an asshole. He's his family are just a bunch of side bitches, and he's gonna whoop them all.
Yep.
So Paul Heyman came out and told Cody, We'll see you on SmackDown face to face and
one-on-one. He said one-on-one
as a man of his word.
That was the big thing. Is he said Roman would be there alone. So,
no bloodline, no aside from himself. But of course, Paul poses no physical threat.
Yeah.
And then Cody said, deal, deal. You got it. And Jay later met up with Cody backstage shortly after this and said, Cody, man, there's no way you're going to SmackDown by yourself, right? And Cody's like, wink, I'm a man of my word.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and move over to SmackDown.
Yeah. So first, Santos versus Ray. I think we were talking about at the very beginning. Dominic coming out, appearing with a mask, with an LWO shirt, actually, too. And a Ray mask.
And the Ray
right?
mask.
It was a Ray mask and an LWO shirt. And then, so he grabs Ray's foot, and Santos hit a 619 to end it. So, right?
Yep, that's exactly what happened. Ray was jumping off the middle rope to do his thing, and Ray came in with Dom came in with Ray's mask. Sorry, despite what Wood Barrett thinks,
which is interesting. Like, when I saw that, I was like, why? What is happening right now?
They are shoehorning in Dom Ray too, I guess, because they aren't confident, maybe.
I mean, I guess to get Dom
Ray
on the card, but like...
It should be Santos and Ray at Mania, but
yeah,
I don't know.
It's just... it's really weird. I don't know.
Tease Dom, I guess...
I guess.
Getting drafted to SmackDown.
I think Ray's...
Dom doesn't get drafted to SmackDown.
I think Ray's in one of his final years.
Yeah, I think...
So I think he's trying to set up...
Probably. But I don't know. He already had his match with his son, so like, I don't know.
I think this year is the year Dom gets drafted to SmackDown, and he gets forced away from Judgment Day.
Ooh. I mean, a draft could do so much for storylines. It'd be pretty insane.
And that's why I was thinking with things like Gunther facing Roman at Berlin.
Like if he gets drafted to SmackDown?
You just switch the US.
Switch the US. But then they normally switch the world titles too, though.
No, they could just stay.
They shouldn't switch both. That doesn't make any sense. It's like making it the same.
That's probably why you do the mid card.
Yeah, it's happened though.
You switch the women, and then they can do that dumb thing where they each drop and regain a title.
Oh yeah,
and then that counts as another new reign.
Yeah, that's so dumb.
I don't like that. That's happened like twice before.
So next, we had Bayley thanking Naomi before Bianca comes in and calls Bayley out for getting Naomi involved, and then Naomi's trying to convince Bianca that she needs a team. So
they're Naomi tries to convince Bianca. They're picking everybody off one by one, and if she can't change the past, it sucks. Bianca's like, no, you weren't here the last two years. Bayley's been wrecking house, and I've been the biggest target. So, and then Naomi's just tried her best. Like, there's too many of them. The numbers game. I came in to try and save Bayley last week. Didn't work. We need more people. So I think wink wink nudge nudge. Maybe Jade Cargill helps get involved.
Well, I mean, Jade did have that interaction with Damage Control. After they attacked Bayley. Remember when they were walking backstage?
I didn't see that.
And then Jade was waiting to talk to Nick.
Oh yes.
And then Jade was she had like some interaction with Dio, and then Dakota like kind of scoffed at him, and then Nick was like, Jade, I'm ready. Like, let's go. Let's go talk. Like, he ushered her away. So they did have that interaction. So Jade is definitely possible. So
I like it. It's 4v4.
Yeah,
if that's the case.
Yeah.
It could be.
And then we had our captains, Theory and Waller, against the Good Brothers. So Waller broke up the Magic Killer and did a dirty pin.
Yeah, Theory rolled him up. He put his feet on the ropes, and Waller held him down for the leverage.
So
it's pretty.
I mean, it makes sense.
It's fine.
Theory and Waller definitely like way more over than the Good Brothers, obviously. Like,
and the Good Brothers are currently involved in an NXT tag tournament.
So
ironically enough,
another tag tournament. So.
They're gonna win.
Yeah, it definitely made sense.
They should win that one. I think.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they should.
Versus Wolf Dogs would be a great match.
That would be great. And then after that, we had Io beating Naomi. So if someone wants to talk about how that ended,
she just hit her moonsault.
After a distraction.
It's just damage control finishes. They beat her down. And then, if I remember correctly, Bianca came down to issue
that was post-match, yeah.
And they beat her ass down, too.
Yep.
So, damage control looking strong.
Beat up all three, Bianca, Naomi, and Bayley.
So
the 3 B's, or 2 B's and an N.
B and B.
So I think we're getting a six women's match here with Bayley, Bianca, and Naomi versus everyone but Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
So
or would it be Dakota and Kabuki Warriors so that Dakota takes the pin?
I think.
Instead of Io?
I don't think...
you think Kyrie would take the pin then, I guess?
Well, because they're not on... I don't think... Since they're not on Mania, I don't think the women's tag team...
Well, also, let's talk about Asuka, because her...
Foot?
She's...
So it could be Asuka's out.
She's injured, yeah.
So it could be Asuka's out. Yeah. It could just be any three.
Also, speaking of Asuka, who heard about that craziness with Goldberg?
Oh, man. Yeah, we can talk about that for a second. That guy is on...
He's on one, bro.
Yeah, he's so out of touch.
He's out there.
He's so out of touch. He doesn't understand.
I mean, we've known that he's been out of touch for a long time, especially with him winning the 2 titles that he did, like, a few years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, we know he's out of touch.
Well, that's the company being out of touch.
like,
but yeah,
damn, his comments on Asuka were not needed. And,
Asuka?
Asuka. Like, I don't know. Less and less I'm a fan of Goldberg. Like...
Yeah.
I used to like him in WCW. Like because obviously I was little. Like I saw the undefeated streak. So like, why would you not like Goldberg? A person that comes in, destroys everyone, keeps the title for a long time. But now, damn, that's kind of shitty. Like he just doesn't understand.
He was only in the business for himself.
And the crazy thing is, like, she talked about liking Goldberg so much.
Made a tweet.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that tweet with her and then Scott Hall.
Scott Hall
responded to. He's like, "You're way better than Goldberg."
So like, because Goldberg was one-dimensional, and Asuka had.
She has a lot of dimensions.
A lot of dimensions, and a lot of her matches were different.
Yeah.
She also Whereas Goldberg was defeating jobbers, Asuka had to technically legitimate defenses.
Legitimate people in NXT when she had her
she had to go
streak.
Actual matches, like not 3-minute squashes. She was having like 15-minute killer matches.
Yeah.
Even matches on like their they had their NXT home loop show.
Yep.
Where they just toured Florida, and she was just having bangers with the girls that were there at the time. So it's just like that shit is all consistent. The shit that that this guy wants to bring about, like it just doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
I think it's just from a place of like jealousy, obviously.
It's definitely a place of ignorance as well, because he just doesn't
largely
know.
Ignorance.
Yeah, he just doesn't know about about her, which is just crazy. Like just don't. It goes back to the age old saying of like, if you don't have anything nice to say, like, just don't say anything.
He's probably mad that they ended his streak with some bullshit cattle prod thing, and she got pinned clean.
Right.
I mean, but she shouldn't have lost her.
She shouldn't have lost to Charlotte.
Like,
she should have lost by pin, just not to Charlotte.
No, not to Charlotte in the way that it did at WrestleMania. Like,
that was one of my most hyped.
Now she has a defeated
streak.
streak.
Her and Shinsuke going for titles at that WrestleMania.
And both of them. Bro, I was there, okay? I was there.
So
we were so mad about that whole card.
I was like
Brock,
that was
beating Roman.
Like
Asuka losing
Shinsuke,
to Charlotte.
Low blow.
Yeah,
Asuka, low blow.
Bro.
Braun Strowman and a 10-year-old kid.
All of that. That whole card, we were so mad about that. Like, everyone in attendance was pissed. God. I'm glad we've gotten so far away from that, but I digress. It was a long time ago. So next, we had your captain.
My captain.
Jade officially announcing that she's a SmackDown superstar, finally.
Yes.
And that she is going to be on the show this upcoming week. So we'll see how it goes and see how she starts her officially starts her career, because obviously she was in Royal Rumble, but she hasn't done anything since, which makes sense. I like that they're taking her time. They're not introducing her into the title right away. It's really good.
Nothing to do for her.
Exactly. It's really good that they're taking their time with her, because they want her to fit WWE style. They want her to just kind of prove herself in the training sessions, which is really good. I think that's awesome. I think it's great. She has a great look. I think she'll be a major player in the future, which is great. But I'm glad that they're taking their time and haven't just thrust her into everything.
It feels like they're teasing her as a heel, which is kind of weird that they want.
It is really weird.
Bring her into Damage Control.
She's more seen as I'm coming in for me.
Yeah.
Which probably comes
exactly. That's exactly what you said.
So, after that, we had Kevin Owens and Randy Orton challenge for Pretty Deadly. So it's kind of a knockoff match.
Good to see an appearance from them again.
Yeah.
I think with all the tag teams floating about, I think it's important to remind everybody that we have another
still there.
We have another good
and they're
tag
good.
team.
And Pretty Deadly's great. I like Pretty Deadly.
Yeah, I like.
Yes, boy.
No, boys. They're not. No. They're facing Randy Orton, boys.
Yeah.
Then we had a crazy great.
So another callback to one of Triple H's storylines from back in the day with Randy Orton invading the home, and I'm pretty sure this is the same house that they used for Rey Mysterio.
Probably.
It could have very well could have been the same house they used for Triple H.
Yeah,
it's the one they've always had. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Randy Orton used to live there too. But
the Dom arrest.
Yeah.
The
Rey Mysterio Dom arrest, and I think.
So LA Knight was attacking AJ Styles at his home.
They started with AJ Styles doing an at-home video interview sort of thing, and then
yoked.
The Horn.
Yeah, AJ Styles is looking
beefy.
He's crazy.
Savage.
The bigger he is, the better it looks when he puts LA over.
Yeah.
So you hear the honk going off in the background.
I'm here, yeah.
And the horn is being honked repeatedly, and an LA Knight comes in. He's like, "I told you I'd show up anywhere." Yeah, and everybody in the audience, is right back because he's so over.
It's like a pre-taped promo.
Yeah.
And you can still hear the crowd feed in the background. So anytime he says the crowd's still going.
And Smackdown is not letting Raw take all the creativity. We cut to a camera from a cop's POV,
the
body
cam.
What is an episode of Cops all of a sudden?
Yep.
Yeah,
amazing production from the Fox Cruise crew. So how we feeling? LA Knight AJ Styles? Is this
they have to build it somehow. So
no DQ, last man standing.
It has to be something. It has to be a stipulation.
Last man standing. It might just be no DQ or like pin must be in ring.
Yeah.
Something like no holds barred.
Yeah, no holds barred.
Bring back.
I think Falls Count Anywhere would be pretty cool for them.
3 stages of hell.
Yeah. 3 stages of hell.
If they were in a position where one of them would go after a world title afterwards, I would absolutely agree with something like 3 stages of hell.
Yeah.
Because they would be the people that would theoretically be the next ones to move on to
But at the moment, they're not.
No.
So
maybe. But we'll see. I don't know. LA Knight needs this. Has WWE missed their chance to push LA Knight as much as they were?
No.
I think so.
No, I think that's like saying they missed their chance to have Cody finish the story, man. Like it's just not the case. They're both mega over.
I mean,
LA Knight is unbelievably over. What's the funnest thing to say when you go to a live show?
True.
Yeah.
Or what? But yeah.
Huh?
Most of the time is yeah.
No. Yeah, it's
I agree with him. I do think that there might be like a sense of like steam being lost.
And that's what I was alluding more towards.
I don't think so.
I think this probably helped him because this is creative. It's its own thing. He did his own run-in. He got arrested. So we'll see where that goes. I think it was a
Napoleon Styles.
Yeah. So,
it's a good feud.
Yeah.
There's good promos coming out of LA Knight. This is the best promos we've seen out of LA Knight.
True. So next we had the Street Profits beating Authors of Pain. To a roll-up, like you keep on saying. Like there's been
shenanigans for
so many roll-ups in this
tag team qualifier
tournament.
match. Like,
in this qualifier.
Weird that it's a tournament for Smackdown, but not a tournament for Raw.
I know.
I don't understand that.
It's so dumb. It's like it's weird how that is. But if you want to consider like qualifying matches, like I guess that could be like a tournament too.
So they beat the Authors of Pain and then they face Theory and Waller next week. So which
that also leaves LWO to face the other SmackDown team that also moved on. It's right here. Because it's 2 matches for next week. Yeah. So it's Street Profits against Grayson Waller and Theory, and then Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate versus Garza and Carrillo. So Legado
del Fantasma.
That's what it was. So those are the 4 teams still vying.
So New Catch Republic beats Legado.
That's what I think.
And then we got Grayson and Waller to beat Street Profits. That's what I'm predicting in. Because you get a face team and New Catch, a heel team. A-Town Down Under.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, Dunne and Bate versus DIY for like a minute. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
We didn't mention it earlier, but Austin Theory does have new theme music now.
Does he?
Yeah, it's a slower music, so it's the same lyrics, but it's not as like.
Like, it's not A-Town down.
So they still say that, but yeah, it's not with like that beat. It's not as like catchy. It's more like.
Are they combined or are they
hip-hop.
still different?
No, Waller didn't get any music.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's a little bit slower now. It's more like it's more rap heavy.
Interesting.
And yeah, so I think that'll be.
That actually leads into. That happened in Glendale?
No. That was.
They were just talking about it. Hold on.
Okay.
That was last.
That was the first. It's
that was
this
last
one right
night.
here. It's this one.
Yeah, there's kicks. There's drum kicks.
It is a little bit different. So yeah.
So
speaking of themes, though, real quick side note. Mercedes theme.
It's Gunther's theme.
Just with CEO.
Yeah.
I just had to mention that.
You're right.
I had to mention that because they're pushing that theme so hard, and like she's reposted it on Twitter, on X, and stuff like that. And I'm like, why are you pushing it? It's literally just a remix of Gunther's theme. What are you doing?
Yeah, we'll talk about AEW and her promo a little bit later in the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. It's not the most spectacular thing. So to close off SmackDown, we of course have the face-off between Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, all-time promo, I think. Reigns tried to sow doubt between his main opponents, harkening all the way back to Reigns and Rollins' time together in Shield. He had to remind Cody, like, I don't know if you know this, but when Seth says he wants to V your Shield, that means he's talking about when he betrayed me in the Shield. See, because I thought he was my brother, and I thought that we were gonna, grow old together, so to speak. And then he stabbed me in the back.
Yeah.
So, and Reigns says he knows him very intimately. Went very deep into all of that. A habit of betrayal, and Cody did his due diligence and reminded Roman Reigns that the last time that the Shield got beat, or the first time that the Shield got beat, it was Cody Rhodes and Goldust.
I think that's an anachronism. I don't think that's actually correct.
I don't think it's correct either. I thought it was the White
tag team, when they were tag team champions of Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, they did lose to Cody and Goldust.
Cody.
I think the first team that actually beat the Shield was a mix of Team Hell No and Ryback.
That sounds right, actually. That does sound right.
The first team
I do remember Daniel Bryan and Kane.
Or I think it was Orton and Team Hell No.
So with the quick search, it was Daniel Bryan, Kane, and Randy Orton.
Okay, see, I knew Team Hell No was in that. I just didn't know who the third was. But I think when they lost the tag team belts, because they were tag team champions, Roman and Seth, they definitely did lose to... that was the match where they were going to be fired. And they had Dusty there.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was... And then they defeated... And that's the one where Dusty hit Dean with his bionic elbow, and Dean was U.S. champion. No, I definitely remember that. So
that was
there's an aspect of truth. There's an aspect of their kayfabe.
Yeah.
So I get what he was saying with his promo.
And then Cody Rhodes tried his best to sow doubt for the fans. He tried to bring up this idea that maybe Roman can't trust Rock. People used to be talking about this potential insider job that Rock is doing for the Bloodline. He's trying to infiltrate them so he can turn on them and help out Cody. I think if we didn't get the crazy Rock promos we've had the last couple of weeks,
they've been.
It's like maybe, but Rock is a family guy. He's a long gamer. Yep. He's doing it for the Bloodline. Mm-hmm. Rock getting a turn here, despite what Cody's trying to say. It's just not going to happen.
No, the L
means nothing.
That's what everyone keeps on saying, but.
All right. Well, you can predict what you want to predict.
I might do something crazy. I'm not going to say it now.
You think Tama Tonga's coming to join Bullet
Club? No. I don't think that. As cool as that would be, I don't think that.
Because if it's no bloodlines allowed at Mania, that obviously probably just means like current iteration of bloodline. And like someone like Tama Tonga doesn't fall into that.
Yeah. And we also said who was the other Fatu? It was Jacob, right?
And Jacob and Zilla.
Yeah. I mean, that would be insane if they expanded it
more.
That crazy.
More they do.
It makes sense because Roman continues his domination and like
Tama Tonga's
the bloodline
going to NXT for sure.
It would make sense. Because he has to be built.
I don't think so, man.
I think there just needs to be built.
What's crazy to me is that build up on NXT for a new superstar making their debut.
He's 41. I don't think he has.
Everybody thought it was Okada at first. People thought it might have just been Boa because it was like they were like a man has three faces. This, that. And Boa used to paint his face. Yeah. And like, oh no, it's Okada because it's a Japanese proverb. It's like, okay, well that's racist. It ended up being Sean Spears.
Yeah.
Yep.
The chairman.
Did you know that Sean Spears and Cody Rhodes were tag champs in OVW?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Brother.
For like a while. Brother. Yeah.
This is how we get Sean Spears back over.
I like Sean Spears.
No more tens. None of that.
I like.
Oh, that's good.
I liked Ty Dillinger.
This is how you get Sean Spears
his wife back.
I liked him.
Do we get Peyton Royce back?
Peyton and Billy.
The Iconics. I thought they retired.
No, they're actually still wrestling.
They're in Impact. They're just Impact tours.
Well, I thought Peyton had a kid.
Well,
both of them did.
Both of them.
Yeah, they have sabbaticals.
I think actually Peyton is pregnant again, if I remember correctly. I think she's having her second.
Yeah, they have sabbaticals from time to time. It doesn't mean that they're
not coming back. They're too
busy.
But
anyways, we go back to the end of SmackDown. So Cody offered Roman a handshake, but Roman just brushed him off. Then Solo and Jimmy started entering from the crowd. we saw this coming.
Yeah.
Obviously, he wasn't coming to SmackDown alone. It was just a bait.
It's funny because it's almost felt like a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
Like that promo between Rock and Roman and Cody was so good that I totally forgot this idea that maybe there's more.
Yeah.
And they had Roman's theme playing the entire time.
They
So
were
I'm like, okay, it's over.
They had the little card for the end of the show.
Yeah, and then Rock, I keep calling it Roman Rock. See, the aura between them is just so similar. Forgive me. Roman snapped his fingers for them to come out, and when they raised the mic to hear the snap, you could hear a fan say, "You really need a room full of strangers to acknowledge you, you little bitch."
No, I think I also heard at one point too. Shut up and kiss already.
What?
Something like that.
Because there was like a pause, and sometimes when Cody speaks,
he pauses.
It builds up to like a punchline.
Yeah.
But he was just saying like something like so slow and methodical, and then someone in the crowd goes, "Just shut up and kiss already."
That's hilarious. And then, of course,
because of the bloodline,
because of the wink, we saw Jay and Seth emerging from the crowd as well.
Me and Christian were watching SmackDown last night, and we're like, "Okay, attack him." Attack him, you're here. Solo, Jimmy, why you attack him? And then they pan the camera over, and you can see in the other side of the crowd was Jay and Seth Rollins. So that's why they didn't strike. They noticed that. So
and then it just ended with a stare down.
Stare down. Yeah.
Exactly. And the next week we have Randy Orton and KO against Pretty Deadly.
Yep.
We have
squash match for
basically
Oh no.
What?
Oh no, it's Team RKO.
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna call it.
Yeah.
They're gonna call it Team RKO. That's
RKO,
terrible. No.
And then
so bad.
and then we have Street Profits and Grayson Waller in theory, like we said, to get into the ladder match. And then
AOP for sure.
And then
New
Catch Republic against LWO.
Legato. It's Legato.
Or sorry, Legato. My bad. So New Catch Republic against Legato for a spot in the ladder match as well.
Spots.
And then we have Bianca and Dakota. So that'll probably end in DQ, I'm guessing, with both sides coming out.
And they might build towards the following SmackDown.
Yeah. And then, we could just jump right into WrestleMania, actually. The updated card.
Yeah,
so
I think we
don't know which night these matches are going to be on yet. They haven't announced that quite yet.
Yeah, the specifics.
So we kind of gave a...
Well, actually, we do know the main event of night one.
Yes.
Yeah, so, we know the tag match. We know both...
No, that can't be the main event. It has to be the women's match.
No, it's going to be...
She was a Royal Rumble winner.
Yeah,
you knew Rhea won the Royal Rumble last year, and she didn't main event that shit. You know what main evented last year? A tag match. It's gonna happen again. It's Rock, baby.
God.
The Rock is main eventing night one, dude.
I'm sorry, but that's end with Io and Bayley though.
As much as
because Bayley's not winning,
and that's the thing.
You don't think Bayley's winning?
I don't think Bayley's winning.
No, Bayley's gonna lose, and then she'll. This is what sucks. Is like I want her to have her Mania moment, but also I don't think she's winning because she's not main eventing. That's why I don't think she's winning. That's a stupid reason to think she's not going to win.
Like we said, the league is going to be very interesting with our predictions.
Yeah, this guy's going to be predictable as the tides over here. This guy's going to take too many chances, and I'm going to be the confidence champ at the end of it anyway.
Bro, I'm the interim champion right now. I've had the most points so far. So, just saying.
So
I got a belt.
We kind of gave our thoughts last time. So it's kind of more on what you have to say. So Io and Bayley, like, what do you feel?
I mean, I'm still going with Bayley. I could see it ending with the distraction, like obviously from Damage Control. I could see that and like ending the match there. That sure, whatever. But right now, I still feel like Bayley until maybe it'll change next week. Like after I think about it next week, maybe it'll change. But as of right now, I still think Bayley. You two think Io is going to win,
which is
right?
We basically think that both women are retaining. Because with Rhea and Becky, I also think Rhea's retaining.
I think Rhea's retaining too.
She's definitely.
She doesn't need to lose to Becky. Becky has had plenty of chances with it, and I think Rhea is just way too over right now for her to drop it at the moment. There's no reason to do it.
Exactly.
And then we go into what it is right now. The Intercontinental Championship match, Gunther and Sammy.
I think it's good.
Do you think it's gonna go into a triple threat with Chad somehow?
I think no, because I think Chad and Sammy are gonna have a match, and Chad's not gonna win it. So there's not.
I guess it wouldn't make sense because the U.S. Championship is already a triple threat. So I guess it can just stay Gunther and Sammy.
The more I think about all of these matches, I'm thinking like, which titles are
who's
going
to lose? There has to be some kind of swerve here.
Well, I think the tag team titles are getting switched.
Well, yeah.
I think that's the one.
And I still stick with my
general prediction.
My prediction of Awesome Truth winning it. I think it needs to happen. Because it makes sense with the whole Judgment Day storyline still, obviously.
I can see Truth winning, and then he's like, yo, I had to, like, give these belts away because we both needed to have the same matching color, and we had one red and one blue, and now we both have red. And he's like, Truth, you idiot. Like, now we're not unified champions.
I think it just makes sense.
My bad.
He pulls down just the Raw titles, and then he's like, "Yeah, we did it. Play my music."
And then Theory pulls down.
Or Waller.
Theory.
Waller standing on Theory.
I would say like something like that. Yeah.
He just like sneaks it off with
the Theory or Truth is up there celebrating with his Raw titles, and then Theory's just like. Pushes him off the ladder and takes the belts. Yeah, I see that.
So something like that happening. And then
LA
US
Knight.
Championship. I think...
Oh, yeah.
No,
United
US
States.
Championship.
Sorry.
Logan, Randy, and Owens.
Unfortunately, I think...
This is the triple threat. This is why we won't have IC title triple
threat.
That's why we won't.
So unfortunately, I think Logan... might retain.
I think Logan's retaining. Yeah.
But
I see Logan
as much as I don't want it to happen, but like the other two don't make sense.
No.
Yeah, a random U.S. title run for Randy.
I think LA Knight makes sense.
Orton doesn't need it.
LA Knight
KO could use it, but he doesn't need it.
No.
At the same time. So
this is to help Logan Paul elevate.
I think Logan Paul just has to retain.
He's also retaining. We know he's retaining because SummerSlam is in Cleveland this year.
Yeah, exactly. That too. Yeah. So he has to carry it to Cleveland and then lose in Cleveland to LA Knight.
Beautiful. That'd be hilarious.
Which probably leads into Orton.
Yes.
Well, Cleveland, John Moxley returned and then beats Logan Paul.
Oh no!
Did you guys see that?
Wait, is he from Cleveland? He's from Cincinnati.
He's from Cincinnati, but still Ohio. Whatever.
Yeah, big pop.
Did you guys see that picture of Moxley talking to Cody? Like people are saying that Mox needs to come back like before Mania.
Oh my God.
The worst. But anyways, LA Knight versus AJ. LA Knight has to.
Take that one. I think that'll happen.
He has to do it to elevate it. Jay versus Jimmy though. We all said that Jimmy needs to have like some kind of elevation on his own. I don't think Jay needs to win.
No,
I don't think Jay needs to win. Will he win?
He could.
I think it's like 60-40 at the moment for me for Jay winning.
I'm split too.
I'm kind of split, but it's not as heavily as most people.
It's hard to separate what you think should happen, which is what like realistically is going to happen. And this is Jay versus Jimmy is the most dicey, I think, decision on the whole entire card. It's hard to call that one.
I think Jimmy obviously needs it more.
Mm-hmm. I think that's why.
Jimmy 100% needs it
a lot
more.
of heels winning today.
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
Well,
you have Truth and Miz winning. Drew winning is like a face moment.
LA Knight's the face. Awesome Truth winning is.
Well, Ripley
Cody and Seth will win night one.
I think Ripley
Cody and Seth win night one. So
you think so? You don't think Seth turns on him night one?
No.
Because he's having his world title match night two.
Oh,
he has no reason to turn yet.
That's true.
He's
on the exactly. Everything's all good.
But I think like if they do lose night one, then that gives him like further motivation after he loses his title.
Well, I think him losing his title is enough.
But the reason why I think it's because like if it's a bloodline match, then Seth has the opportunity to like cost them the match, but not have Roman win with a DQ finish, if that makes sense.
Well, that's just gonna happen anyway. Bloodline can't be involved if they win. Seth is a spotlight junkie. It's all he cares about. So losing that title is all the motivation he needs.
And that's a good way to indicate that if the bloodline can't be involved, Seth does not fall under the bloodline category, which means that
it helps people believe, like Cody's really going to take this one. Like no bloodline rules. Hell yeah, dude. Oh shit, who's that in the hood?
Stomp.
Fucking Solo again, bro? Nah, no Spike. Stomp.
Wow.
Seth.
So then we go into night two.
Yeah.
Seth and Drew. So we all think Drew at the moment.
I think Drew will win no matter what. If it gets triple threaded.
So we did talk about the chance.
I'd like to see
opportunity for Damian cashing in
losing his cash in.
on it. in making it into a triple threat like Seth did against Brock and Roman, but losing to Drew, getting pinned by Drew. So that Seth doesn't take the pin, he's pissed about it, and then it leads to the Universal.
I'm going to tell you right now, this should have been Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor with Damian Priest cashing in
on Finn
and making it a triple threat, and then making a triple threat and pinning Finn.
That would be that would have been insane.
That would have been beautiful. That's what they should have done.
That would have been great. And then we have the Universal Championship, so we think Roman is retaining.
I think Roman's retaining.
Cody's not finishing the story yet.
Nope. No shot.
Nope.
So
myriad of reasons why he could. There's not any good enough reason for why he should win.
I think Roman beats Hogan's history
That's what they're
first.
going for.
I think that's more important than Cody finishing the story.
No, for sure.
So,
I think for their impact, it's going to mean more. It's the man who beat Hogan, essentially.
I think next year, WrestleMania 41, Rock versus Roman. Rock beats Roman. He's the new head of the table. And then we get Cody beating Rock eventually to finish his side of the story. It's
for the championship?
For the championship, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Interesting.
Cody beats Rock for the title. And this is just because...
Does he get
it just makes sense for him to take everything.
Does he get Money in the Bank and cash in on it?
No, I think he wins the Chamber.
So I was thinking about that also.
I think he wins the Chamber.
I think
the Chamber instead of
I think Cody could
because even Austin didn't win the Rumble 3 times in a row. He won it over 5 years.
No, but I said Money in the Bank.
But he's talking
instead
about
of the Chamber.
Yeah, so I think if Cody would get the money...
So later on... so this is after Mania next year.
Yeah.
I think Cody can just win something, a number one contenders match. Or he could just...
I don't know. I
beat Roman. He could beat Roman.
Or maybe it is Elimination Chamber. Maybe it is Elimination Chamber, because then he
That's leading to Mania. So I'm thinking if it's post-Mania, then you could do Cody and Roman, where the winner faces The Rock. And then Cody beats Roman.
Like at SummerSlam or whatever?
Yeah, like Royal Rumble or something.
Yeah.
Well, no, if it's post-Mania.
Oh, post-Mania SummerSlam.
It would be SummerSlam.
It'd be
Survivor Series.
Probably SummerSlam, because it's the bigger of the shows.
Yeah, you're right.
That's where Cody and The Rock would happen. But before that, at another pay-per-view, you can have Cody and Roman.
That would be like Survivor Series or something like that.
No.
Survivor Series is after.
It'd be maybe Money in the Bank.
Or where
they just
be
run-off.
Yeah, something like that.
They would not do fucking Cody Rock at SummerSlam. All right, whoever wins this is gonna face Roman at Mania.
No,
that's 8 months out.
He's saying
I'm saying that once Rock
beats Roman at Mania
next year,
yeah.
it'll be Cody and Rock at SummerSlam.
Cody and Roman at SummerSlam.
No, Cody and
Rock for the title.
But before that,
it has to
Roman and Cody will face off in a number one contenders match, and that's where Cody
at some PLE.
At some PLE.
Yeah.
That wouldn't happen at some PLE. That would happen at one of the big four. That's where that would happen.
Well, they treat Money in the Bank as one of the big five too, so it could be there.
Could.
I think it could.
I don't think Money in the Bank has precedence over Elimination Chamber. Definitely, that's not the
Chamber's
case.
Before Mania. There's no way. I mean,
the Chamber is on the road to WrestleMania. It's the fifth biggest one. It should be one of the big four, but it's not.
I think they treat now Money in the Bank and spoilers.
Do they? Because they suck at booking Money in the Bank.
Well,
they've not done a good job.
They do because I've actually the way that it's beforehand they had treated King of the Ring as one of their five, and now this is kind of like its own new version of a King of the Ring because it's basically a tournament that leads up to one.
Some way, shape, or form that probably could happen.
I think that would be. But
I think Roman retains here.
No doubt.
He has to beat Hogan's record. That's the more important of the matters at hand, anyways. Versus Cody's story.
It's so difficult. Like Cody Roman's story, I feel on its own goes beyond the title. Like there's Cody's story for the title, but then there's Cody and Roman's story. They share that because I mean it's like an anime, dude. Like Cody's dad trained Roman Reigns.
Yep.
To be as good as he is.
Exactly.
Yep. That was everything to me, but I'm starting to think if Cody really wants to take everything away from Roman, he's got to take the belt from The Rock. Yeah.
So we're outside of WWE now.
Yep.
We are jumping into AEW now. So we saw at what was it? Big Money or
Big Business.
Big Business. Big Money, basically, because Mercedes debuted.
Big
Big Business was in Boston it was very obvious that because it was in Boston, that Mercedes was going to debut.
They had the dollar signs for the S's.
Yeah,
they basically told you she was going to be there.
It was very apparent that this was going to happen. So going back to what I said about the theme, Mercedes comes out to basically Gunther's theme, just remixed. They should have just kept her AEW or her New Japan. Like her Japan theme music.
Yeah, that she had.
They should have kept it.
Yeah.
They should have kept it.
No, I agree.
Like there was no reason to switch her theme to a blatant ripoff of Gunther's theme. There was absolutely no reason for it.
We have 2 new title changes. We have Okada winning the Continental title off Eddie Kingston.
I've said this a few times. I'm not an Eddie Kingston fan, so I don't know why he carried the title for as long as he did. Thank God it's finally on someone else.
It's on Okada, his first week in. First week, brother.
You can come for me, Marks, in the comments. I don't care. I'm glad Okada won the title.
No, I am right with you too.
Like there was no reason.
Be off of Eddie. It should be off of Eddie.
There was no reason for Eddie to carry 3 titles, and for as long as he has.
Now, the way I thought the title worked was that it was like this unified variant, but he's still the ROH.
Yeah, so he's still a double champ.
Yeah,
but at least it's not an AEW as
got a match against
and the strong champion too.
Yeah. So
he has a match against Mark Briscoe
at the ROH.
Yeah, so
ROH for that belt.
We also know the rules of the Continental title now too. Like more so. I saw the updated rules or like the reconfirmed rules.
Yeah.
So like it has to be defended during the tournament as well. So the only way to retain during that tournament is the current champion has to win that tournament again to retain. And then also they have to.
Oh, the classic.
Yeah, so,
they have to
and then they also have to defend it in some other way. I can't remember at the moment, but so we saw those updated rules. Okada's the new champion, so
and then Adam Copeland.
And then Adam Copeland beat Edge in his home.
Adam Copeland
beat Edge
in their hometown.
Beat Christian in their hometown to like thunderous applause. Like it was like. They were singing his theme, like it was pretty emotional.
Oh yeah,
so,
that's the new Jericho right there.
Yeah, so that was great.
It was a great match. It was an iQuit match.
Yeah.
It was absolutely bonkers.
Yep.
We had barbed wire chairs. We had
the nailed bat.
Yep. And so
how long until Adam Copeland and Chris Jericho go at it? Huh? Run it back for old time's sake.
Because Jericho's too busy losing to too many people right now.
To Hook.
He lost to Hook.
He's too busy putting Hook over. He's
Jericho needs to sink his fangs into the TNT title like he always does, but then he needs to lose.
And then we had Adam Cole talking about he's talking about Wardlow losing to Samoa Joe.
Wardlow lost his world title match. Yep. So Storm Cole was absolutely livid.
Yep.
Because the way he talks about like you lost this like for me.
Yeah.
Because like he was gonna reign as the champion basically as Wardlow had won, but I think that Cole is the one that's going into the next.
And we talked about this too.
Yeah. After Hangman and Swerve.
Yeah.
Swerve has still mentioned a couple of things. He's been brought up into a little bit of a feud with the Kingdom.
Yeah.
So it's just to keep him busy.
Which it makes sense.
Yeah.
That Adam, like we talked about it, what was it, a couple episodes ago. We talked about Adam beating Samoa Joe and
Roderick Strong winning the title, and then he did.
Oh, he won his.
We did talk about Roderick.
Cassidy. Yep.
Yeah, we did talk about Roderick winning a title.
International.
And then
they all sound the same in that
we've talked about like the pathing that this could take, and it's going that route. So it's good that they're going the natural route, I think, but taking it slowly, which is really good, because it needs that build up.
Yeah. There's another thing I added here last minute was and Jungle Boy has been denied his
release.
His release.
Yeah, he was denied his release.
He wants out.
And everything that he's doing in New Japan is his own.
Yeah, Tony Khan has had no affiliation.
No hand in it at all.
So that's very
and he's
shocking.
He's doing good. So I like what they've done with him in there.
With heel Jack Perry.
Yep, House of Torture. And then we have AEW Dynasty, which is the next pay-per-view. Right now we only have 2 confirmed matches. One of them is the finals of the World Tag Team Champion Tournament, which they are running through right now, and the other one is just a singles match between Daniel Bryan and Will Ospreay.
Yep.
Which should be an amazing match because Will Ospreay has been absolutely unbelievable
Killing
this whole
it.
year.
Bruv.
Yeah.
We're 3 months in, and he's had like maybe 5 out of the 10 top matches so far.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be. AEW has a lot of moving pieces, but I do think that they are trying to figure out where they want their future to go, and I think that they are starting to set up some of the pieces for where they're trying to head to. In terms of like, they're starting to have these, like now that these people have been introduced, like where do they fit into the storylines and how do they fit into these storylines?
Yeah.
So, AEW after that, we did have the end of the New Japan Cup. Which I did watch the final. Yota Tsuji won the New Japan Cup over Hiroki Goto.
Which is fine.
So my thing was I put here possible change of plans because in the semis or in the quarters, I believe it's in the quarters, Goto was supposed to face David Finlay, but Finlay got legitimately sick, and so they just gave him the bye. There was no someone takes a spot.
No replacement, yeah.
Yeah, so because I initially thought that David Finlay would be the one to win. He just lost his global title. He's still up here in their eyes. Why not give him the next contendership shot? So I think that maybe that's where they were going, and this Yota Tsuji is like a kind of an alternate plan because he's part of LIJ.
Oh, yeah.
So I have here the card for their next pay-per-view, which is Sakura Genesis on April 6th.
Yep.
So it's going to be
Naito.
Like Naito defending against Yota Tsuji.
Yep.
Shingo Takagi will be challenging Evil for the never openweight title. John Moxley will be making an appearance with his young lion Shota Umino, who's not a young lion. That's just his boy.
Yeah.
Against Jack Perry and Ren Narita. So here we go, some more interaction.
Yep.
IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. I'm so looking forward to this one. This is
Sho
Sho
against,
versus Yo.
Yep.
If you don't know, Sho and Yo were former, I think, 4-time IWGP Tag Team Champions. They were together for so long.
A long time.
And then the show obviously split. So this is just kind of like the natural progression of where these two would go, especially with the title on the line. The IWGP Tag Team Champions of Chase Owen and Kenta, they will be doing basically a rematch of Bioshiman, who's the team that they defeated to gain. No, they had actually defeated El Fantasma and Hikuleo.
Yep.
So Bioshiman's the team before.
Yeah.
So they're getting that title shot, and then a 3-way for the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, which is Clark Connors and your boy Drilla Maloney defend against Intergalactic Jet Setters, which is my boy Kushida and Kevin Knight, and Catch 2-2 Francisco Akira and TJP. So it looks like a pretty solid card. This is like this would be I think like their third biggest card that they've had of the year after Wrestle Kingdom. And then the final night.
It's one of their bigger.
And then the final night of the New Beginning shows. So.
And then also TJP took over too.
Yeah, he said, I will take over for United Empire. I have the residency, the length, the career. I will take over.
So what happened with Oswong? We're just done with that now?
Oswong only shows up when he's needed.
It's kind of like the demon.
Fiend demon.
So
more like the demon.
When they did their 5-on-5 death match with the last match that Ospreay had, where it was United Empire.
Oswong was...
They killed TJP during the match, and then he was gone for like 15 minutes, and then he just showed up at the top of the cage as the Oswong already.
That's cool.
And then, but then they got rid of him. Well, they locked him to the. Well, they locked him to the cage, and then they gave him like 17 super kicks. Yeah. So it's like I don't know what more you can do. At that point. So and then a little bit here, real quick, we do have the ROH Super Card, which is also on April 5th. So the beginning part of April is pretty stacked with pay-per-views and cards. It's going to be crazy because not only do we have Stand and Deliver as well, which we should probably mention too because it's there. I know I haven't watched a lot of NXT, but it is there.
I've been keeping up with it too. Yeah.
That whole weekend's just going to be an absolutely crazy packed. Yeah. It's going to be crazy. Like right after WrestleMania, I'm going to watch the Sakura Genesis show. Yeah. And it's going to be like, wow.
Oh, because it's late. Yeah.
Well, it'll probably had already released, but it's just with so much of it. Like, when can I watch it?
You could also watch the next day of it too, because.
But the next day is going to be WrestleMania Day.
There's so much going on.
And
you have to stay up for 48 hours.
Bloodsport?
Shayna Baszler is going to be on Bloodsport.
I want to see Dom go.
I want to see Dom go on Bloodsport. Would be sick.
That's really cool of WWE though too.
To let them do that.
Well, they've done that. I know
a couple times.
Charlie Dempsey, I think he did.
He's been tearing it up.
Alba Fire too.
Shinsuke and Okada.
Alba Fire.
Mm-hmm.
She was...
or not Shinsuke Okada. Shinsuke and Great Muta. My bad.
Yeah. Eddie Kingston's defending his ROH world title against Mark Briscoe, which I believe Mark should win.
He should.
He should win.
Yeah, Eddie loses all of his belts in one fell swoop.
Good.
Good.
It's about time.
I mean, yeah, sure.
He
I don't
doesn't-
like the guy that much either.
He doesn't need it. Like,
He doesn't.
He
He shouldn't
doesn't
have had
need
it.
it.
He
His only thing was like defeating Cesaro, and then like that was it. Like there was no follow up.
Yeah.
He had his tournament, which I still don't understand why he was the one that won. When you had Cesaro, Andrade, Bryan, I think like even Jay Lethal was in it. Like it was.
Oh yeah,
There's so many people that were in this tournament that they just ended up giving to him, which I felt was really underwhelming.
They've got like some tag team tournament going on right now for AEW, and there's a lot of teams missing.
Yeah,
from that. No House of Black.
No, they're in it. BCC was not in it.
Oh yeah, BCC wasn't in it. What's House of? Are you sure House of Black was in it?
House of Black lost to the Infantry, which is a startup tag team of Captain Sean Dean and Carly Bravo.
So that kind of makes that's what people are talking about with Malachi leaving. That's why that's why they lost is because Malachi and then possibly Buddy just leaving AEW and going back to WWE.
Well, WWE showed Rhea and
they did show Buddy. And then, who was it? It was Pat McAfee was like, "Who's that?" or something like that, right? About Buddy.
So in the AEW tag team tournament, we have the Young Bucks against Private Party in one match.
And Private Party's looking for a new member right now. Yeah.
They will face the winner of the Undisputed Kingdom and Best Friends. And then on the bottom of that bracket is FTR versus the Infantry. Mm-hmm. And then Top Flight, which is the Martin Brothers against Ricky Starks and Big Bill. So that's kind of where they're going to lead into. But yes, I do agree that there's a lot of teams missing here.
There is.
So strange. BCC is missing. We're missing... I can only think of the other teams right now too.
I could have swore House of Black wasn't on the card. That's what I thought.
I don't know if they're injured, but like Daddy Magic and the other guy.
Oh yeah.
Mark Menard.
Yeah.
Like just some of those guys that were
Undisputed Kingdom's not.
No, they are.
Oh, they are in there.
Mike Bennett and Matt Taven, which they ironically are the ROH tag team champions too. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see where that goes. The card is still getting built up. Which is surprising.
Like Sting and Darby aren't in there. sorry, too soon.
April 6th, and no, it says here it's April 21st actually for Dynasty. So it's actually not on, which makes sense. It's not over WrestleMania weekend. They wouldn't do that, but they still have time to build up that card. Yeah. And then for Stand and Deliver, we have Carmelo against Trick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We have Ida versus Tony D'Angelo.
Yep.
We have Roxanne Perez challenging Lyra Valkyria for the NXT Women's Championship, which I think Roxanne might take.
She should.
And then Wolf Dogs will defend against
OC.
Good brothers. 3 teams.
The winners, right?
On April 2nd, they'll determine the winner. So leading up into Mania, so you'll have LWO, which is Joaquin and Cruz, Axiom and Nathan Frazier, and OC.
Yeah.
Those are 3 teams.
Which OC should win.
OC should win.
All right.
and then we'll jump back to ROH because we forgot.
This is the thing I was trying to mention. Where so this is the tournament final for the inaugural ROH Women's World Television Championship. Yeah. This is Billy Starks faces
Queen Aminata,
who's been on AEW a couple of times.
Aminata should win.
I think Aminata is going to get this, especially with not only her exposure, but I think I think it's just kind of where it fits with her. I know Billy Starks has kind of been someone that they built up to.
Stu Green.
So. And this is where I kind of was like, see, like, why are they doing it in WWE? Especially, like, a company that can showcase a better a mid-card title.
Well, it's so the ROH Women's Television Champion can show up at Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble. Nah, but seriously, like we talked about before, WWE needs a women's mid-card title. In some capacity, at some point, it needs to happen. The roster is just so stacked that...
Well, it's funny that we talk about this because I also feel like the men's could use something as well because they're...
their title?
Cruiserweight title.
Cruiserweight should come back.
Dom should win it.
Cruiserweight should come back. I liked the Cruiserweight title.
But like, what do you do? Because, like, is Balor going to challenge for it?
Well, maybe they just make the Cruiserweight title like the women's title, and that's how they bring it back. But I do think the men's should have another belt. Like... Yeah, Triple H's era, I could see him bringing back the Cruiserweight belt. But 205 Live was like his idea.
But before that,
and the Cruiserweight Classic.
But before that, the women's title needs to happen.
That needs to happen first. That needs to happen first.
Yeah, definitely a women's title does need to happen in some capacity.
I wanted...
Absolutely. So
I wanted Ray to be the inaugural cruiserweight if they bring it back. Because Ray should have a nice, solid run or something. Because I thought they were going to do that with the U.S. title, but then they realized that somebody else should probably have the U.S. title. Yeah. So if you're going to bring back the cruiserweight,
that would be cool. Yeah, I mean, that would be
one more title reign.
It would be exactly. It would be a really good way.
Put a belt over.
Yeah, it would be a really good way to like solidify the championship or like make it mean something. To have him actually have a meaningful run with it.
If that's the case,
and then
where he drops it down, Ray needs to have defenses against.
Santos,
Dragon, Santos, Finn,
Andrade.
Andrade. He needs to have matches
JD.
like those.
JD.
Where it's like these are legitimate. Ricochet.
Pull Drew Gulak out of the
No, I actually like his Catch Academy. I like his he also has his own they have their own.
You could also bring in Pete Dunne as well. Tyler Bate.
No Catch Crew. That's Charlie Dempsey, Miles Bourne, and David.
Oh yeah, those three.
And Charlie Dempsey's the current NXT
Cup.
Heritage Cup.
The Heritage Cup, yeah.
And the other day he could not wrestle, so Drew Gulak fought for him and he won.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of possibilities for the cruiserweight, and if they do go if they were to go the Ray route, there's a ton of bangers that they could have with
Andrade,
so many people. So many people like we just mentioned, but yeah.
But Gargano.
Yeah. Gargano, Ciampa. Like
the list goes on.
Yeah, it just goes on. There's just so many good people that are like outside of the heavyweight scope at the moment that they could have great matches.
Do something with. They can finally give Ricochet something.
Even Ludwig, they could have Ludwig face Ray.
They'd have to up the thing a little bit because I know.
Yeah, would it be 205? It'd be like 220 or something.
Because what's weird is
230.
Which is weird because like this iteration was 205, but then I remember watching.
It was like 230, right?
It was 225
or 225
when Matt Hardy won it. Because the whole thing was that Matt Hardy was trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
And then he got to 225 because he was like butt ass naked. And
yeah.
And then, all right, you can challenge for it, but a little bit 220.
So many people that they could insert into that title. Yeah,
it's also their case.
True. Yeah.
So it could be less.
It could be
Cody.
less. Oh God. Cody with the cruiserweight title.
You finish the story.
Stop.
Oh, shut.
So we're coming here to the end of a really jam-packed show. Honestly, there's so many things.
We could have talked for another hour.
We still can. And what does Backlash look like? What is the future of There's all these other things that we could have hit that we didn't have a chance to. But let's talk about the fact that we are now 2 months away from this date of Arizona's Fan Fusion.
2 months exactly, right?
Phoenix Fan Fusion.
2 months almost exactly.
Firm confirmation. They'll be somewhere here on the video.
We've had a graphic up for the remainder of the video if you've noticed. That's 2 days. That is Friday, May 25th. Is it 24th? May 25th, 24th?
I believe it's the 24th.
Folks at home
Friday the 24th and Saturday the
25th. We both times are at 3 p.m. West Coast time. So you can catch our WolfPac WWE Jeopardy panel, 3 p.m. Friday, May 24th. You can catch our Nostalgia cartoon, Saturday morning cartoons, Jeopardy panel, Saturday, 3 p.m.
It might be also mentioned. It also might show on our on the graphic, but they're gonna be at the same location.
Yes, same room.
Same room.
Plenty of chances to win. Prizing.
Yep.
We might even do some giveaways to just questions.
We're also gonna be around the con too, talking to people and doing interviews and stuff like that. I have really solidified plans that I want to do that this year.
Yep.
We were supposed to do it last year, and then we kind of just lost track of everything because it was our first year doing panels, and we just want to make sure everything was correct and ready to go with those. So now that we have a good grasp of that, we can do things outside of that scope, and I'm really, really excited about those.
We want to do a lot of fan service. We want to interact with you guys. If you're a fan of the podcast, if you were at our panel last year, we'd love to see you again.
Yes,
please. Love to talk to you, get you involved in the channel, get you up on the YouTube.
On top of that, we also want to have people's opinions, so we might do hot takes while we walk around.
Yep. We did hot takes with our Smackdown invasion that we did a couple weeks ago.
You can go ahead and catch that.
Couple episodes ago.
We'll be doing something a lot like that again this year for Fan Fusion. And of course at any future WWE events in Arizona.
Yep. I'm super excited.
And
very
so we are 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, and I want to kind of announce this. This isn't, so we want to get to a giveaway, But in order for that to happen, we want this video to get 15 likes and 150 views before WrestleMania.
Yes.
And then, depending on when when that day is, we will announce what the giveaway will be, and that will be a giveaway that will last all of WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
So from Friday to Monday, we will kind of announce what's allowed, and then let that be the timetable for the giveaway.
Yeah.
But this video needs to reach 15 likes and 150 views before
Tell your
WrestleMania
friends.
week.
Yes.
Tell your friends. If
definitely
anybody
share,
that,
like.
who watches is interested in the product. I've had people from my work. I do corporate catering, guys. I was delivering lunch to a doctor's office yesterday, and the client was interested in what I did in my free time. I told him podcasting, told him what it was about, and he's like, "Oh, hey, The Rock's back, isn't he?"
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
It's exactly what we want.
It's a great time to just keep on growing, and WrestleMania weekend's gonna definitely do a lot, and then Fan Fusion's gonna do a ton again.
We're gonna do a ton of content. We're gonna put some stuff out there. We're gonna try to, record the panel. We're gonna try to record the interactions we have with guests. We're gonna try to go around and do questions.
And we got to talk about it a little bit backstage here, but maybe we're thinking about doing potentially a live episode of the podcast. It could happen. Could happen. You could be there. It'd be nice to have a live audience. If not this year, something we might want to do in the future for sure. Again, it's all about you guys and the fan interaction. We do this for your guys' entertainment. Of course, for our own entertainment in a way. But you guys help make the WolfPac what it is.
Exactly.
So,
We've got a few more minutes here. Any closing thoughts, boys?
Well, new segment, Wrestler to Watch. So
I like it.
This was.
What did you call it? You called it something else.
There was two things. You're the wrestler to watch, and then you also talking about baby or boys.
So
two
let me
different
talk about two
segments.
different things. So we can finalize boys and later, but boys, if you didn't watch the video, is basically this group that I watch called OSW. They kind of have had their vocabulary spread around other YouTubers that watch wrestling. So Boys is one of them. Boys is a stable that a person has of wrestlers that are maybe a little cringy, maybe a little...
Oh, so a B team.
A B team. You could also have maybe a gimmick of a wrestler that you preferred over. So this person chose the Sparkplug Thurman, not the Hardcore Holly. At another point in 1995, he was known as another wrestler called Spark. He was a NASCAR driver, Bob Holly. And that's the gimmick that he likes.
Okay.
So you could choose anything
Stardust.
like that. Yeah, I'm a big Stardust fan. Mm-hmm. That's the way, and I could say I'm a big Dustin Reynolds fan, but not Goldust fan.
Sure.
Whatever. The only caveat, you also have females in there too. The only caveat is that they can't be and I say this with description of, they can't be a significant world champion, and by that I mean people like Great Khali, Jack Swagger, Dolph Ziggler. I had another one, Jinder Mahal. They can still be boys because everyone knew that their title reigns were a crock. Okay. They don't mean much.
Like Drew McIntyre from his 3MB days.
You can pick that. People have also selected that now that Kofi's won a world title, he can't be a boy. But if you want Jamaican Me Crazy Kofi, you can absolutely take that as your boy. Mm-hmm. So in that video that I showcased to you, these guys... that was the first time they mentioned boys, and they've kind of redefined it more as they've gone along.
I get it.
Because
what can we do with this though?
It's more just
we have our stable.
It's more just these are anytime there's a match, I'm really happy that they're in the match. They don't add anything to their. It does nothing to their universe in terms of just something that they have. But they watch a lot of they'll watch 4 pay-per-views in a row of WCW because they're doing an arc. And they'll just add boys Scotty Flamingo. What a great wrestler. I didn't know him. I never saw him. I'll add him to my stable. It's just more of a thing of you're just adding people that you didn't have a chance to see, or maybe people that were just, like I said, on that cringe meter, maybe underutilized. For me, me personally, I actually didn't think Shelton was going to succeed. I thought Charlie Haas was. So for me, Charlie Haas is in my stable for boys.
Gotcha.
That's kind of how boys are kind of defined. It's just these wrestlers that aren't as well known, maybe not as well known, not as big of impact, but you see them, they're good performers, they're a solid hand, and they're just if you see the video, these are just the wrestlers that they grew up, that they were I can't believe I loved whatever. I loved Lord Tensai.
Sure.
Like, that's just the kind of it was.
Funkasaurus.
So
I like it. I do like it. I think we can do something like that.
We'll definitely touch upon that, but
we'll talk about it more.
But we can go into wrestlers to watch, which I think is a good one.
So you called it scouting.
WolfPac scouting.
Yeah.
Pretty
So basically, these are just wrestlers that either if it's within now and the next podcast or just general, these are just wrestlers that I think we need to keep an eye on, whether because of where the progression is going, if it's lack of sight, if it's all these things, like whatever variable we each want to just say it is. Like we can mention 3 wrestlers and just have our own opinion on why. That's fine. And they can come from anywhere. If you want to say, hey, I think we should keep an eye on Jun Akiyama from Pro Wrestling Noah, fine. I don't care. I think it's a good way to just show that, like, on top of everything, these are the people that we're focusing on. These are the people that, like, we're trying to see and look at and who I'm going to keep an eye on and who I think you should keep an eye on, too.
I think that'd be a cool idea. Something to start up after Mania season.
Yeah. So I think those 2 segments we could definitely introduce post. Because from here till Mania, we're actually going to take a 3-week break. We'll be back the weekend after Mania.
Yeah,
for a loaded show.
Yeah, because Mania weekend is when we're supposed to record the next.
Because we'll have Mania, we'll have ROH, we'll have NJPW.
Yep.
It's going to be absolutely busted. It's going to be crazy, and we might. And we'll just have all that ready for review for the post Mania thoughts. We'll also have the post Raw and the post Smackdown.
Yeah.
And post NXT. So if they decide to
we'll see who debuts.
Who's where.
We probably should have predicted who's going to debut on the Raw after Mania because we're not going to record until after that.
Let's just do that. We still have a few minutes.
I think we do have a little bit of time.
I think Tama Tonga debuts NXT then.
You think so?
The NXT after.
That makes sense.
You don't think he's going to AEW?
No, he's going to Florida.
No.
You think he's going to WWE?
Yeah, he wants to go. He really wants to
go. He wants to go surfing with Shinsuke.
There's not enough money. You can't give that guy enough money. Like I think
that or because
what's he gonna do over there?
But who's debuting on the main event though?
I think we get Braun officially.
He is already,
but he's finishing his tag team thing. But I think
it'd be Raw.
No, but he's part of SmackDown already.
He signed to SmackDown.
Yeah, he signed to SmackDown.
Yeah, so we're talking about the Raw after Mania.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Raw after Mania. Raw after Mania. Yeah.
Carmelo or Trick.
Okay.
Carmelo's on SmackDown. I want to say.
You think he goes to SmackDown?
He was in that U.S. title
he's
tournament
definitely
match.
on SmackDown.
I think you're
okay,
right.
so just combine them. Raw and SmackDown after Raw or after Mania.
I think Braun will officially be main roster after SmackDown after WrestleMania.
Oh, you mean he's just not going to be on NXT anymore? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. But he's already on SmackDown.
I think the other Braun comes back, Strowman.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I
think he should be healed about now, anyways. I think
he did say. I think he's close to it.
Yeah, because he's doing a lot of like promotional stuff at the moment for WWE. So he probably he was in Saudi Arabia when they were in Australia, right?
Yeah, because they sent the group to Saudi.
Yeah,
and that's Gunther's next opponent.
Hey, sure.
No, Gunther's already beaten him though.
Yeah, but
he powerbombed him.
It's still believable that he could.
He had a last.
I would believe that Braun could beat Gunther.
I just didn't remember.
But anyways, you said Braun.
I think Braun officially stays on SmackDown, and then I think Carmelo stays on SmackDown.
Too. Okay.
So if we're going to Raw, maybe Trick
to Raw
after defeating Carmelo.
Ready? You think he's ready?
I think they're gonna strike, man. And could you?
They need to.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine like
he's insanely
Gunther wins?
Yeah.
And then
the Trick comes out.
Trick. Whoop. Yeah. And then it's like, what?
I don't know. I think the Trick's caught up with metaphor right now. They just started doing more with Trick and Lash's like IRL relationship. They did a segment where they actually kissed in ring, and they had like there was a match.
He had a match with Noam Dar.
Between Trick and Noam Dar, and Noam Dar was like, Lash, like, you're going to interfere and do this for me, right? And Lash was like, no. Like, just stood there.
Yeah, so I think I would agree with Trick coming up. I think they need to strike while the iron's hot because he's extremely over right now. Mm-hmm. So both of them coming up makes sense. Who else? Anyone else? Any surprise debuts? Like, those are just call-ups, but do we think any debuts happen besides Tama?
Maybe Camille.
Camille, maybe.
Did Camille sign?
What about what's her name? From Japan.
Julia.
Julia.
Yeah, Julia.
Do you think Julia?
I think Julia for Damage Control.
Because everyone's been saying Julia is coming at some point. So
Yeah, after damage control.
I mean, it makes sense to be inserted into either inserted into damage control or against damage control, one of the two. So I think it makes sense. Anyone else? Any other debuts?
I think
main call-ups debuts.
I don't know for call-ups, and if they do, I think they'll get scattered. Maybe I don't know. Do you put Roxanne up already?
Fallon Henley, maybe, or something.
I think those type of people are going to go up.
I don't know about Fallon. I don't know about Fallon. Oh, maybe.
And I think they just kind of get
Gacy.
Raw.
Joe Gacy.
I think Dijak again. But they need to let him keep his persona this time, please. Don't do any changes to Dijak because he's great.
I'm trying to think of people that would return too, that would make it.
Alexa?
No.
No.
What do you mean?
Sideline. What do we mean? She has skin cancer.
Yeah, she has skin cancer.
Alexa?
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss has skin cancer.
Wait, what?
Yeah. You haven't been keeping track of your favorite wrestler of all time?
She's not my favorite wrestler of all time, but...
It's Dakota Kai is his favorite wrestler.
No, she's not my favorite of all time either.
You fooled us.
Yeah, you're probably right.
On March 3rd, 2013, revealed she had skin cancer caused by tanning equipment. So unfortunately, a lot of...
Oh, yeah, they were rumoring her coming back for SummerSlam because it's in Cleveland. That's right.
Which she could come back as a guest.
The host, maybe.
The host.
Oh, can we talk about how The Rock destroyed Dave Meltzer on Twitter?
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah,
you wanted to
talk about how that Dave Meltzer has had this report over the last couple days where
it's in the notes.
Claiming that
it's in the notes.
He claims TKO would like The Rock to follow the guidelines of a TV PG rated product and stop swearing so much. And allegedly there's a lot of backstage heat and arguing between all of the talent that why does he get to do it and we don't get to do it. And The Rock just came out and tweeted directly to this in response to this that the story is just complete horseshit. So no more Dave Meltzer. We're done. We're throwing that in the trash. The Rock himself has come out and he's called out the crazy old man yelling at the sky.
Daddy Dave?
It's crazy, man. It's cutthroat out there.
It's probably one of these things where it's there is a policy that should be followed, but there is. I don't think it exists to the dramatic effect that people think it Dave thinks.
Yeah.
Because I had also heard this too on the Wrestling Observer Radio the night after Raw.
Yeah.
Because Cody was saying a bunch of stuff too, and Brian Ellsworth called out Dave and was like, I don't buy it. I don't believe this rhetoric that they're supposed to follow. Mm-hmm. Where is it? Where's the notes? Tell me what's going on. And Dave kept saying, "Well, that's just what I've been told. That's just what I've been told. That's just what I've been told."
No, yeah. Well, Dave went out of his way to say specifically, many people feel there's a double standard of the Vince McMahon era. He went out of his way to bring that up. He clearly has dubious intentions by even mentioning that.
So going back to Alexa though, I saw a report. Multiple places talking about that she's been training for a return.
She posted a picture of her cancer scar. Not too long ago.
I don't know.
On Instagram. There's no I don't know here. I'm sorry, dude. I know you haven't been paying attention, but the fact of the matter is she's not coming back.
This was in the last...
I saw reports that Brock Lesnar was coming back for the Gauntlet.
I saw that too.
I saw tons of reports about that too. I also saw reports that WWE got sold to Saudi Arabia. So reports don't mean nothing no more.
I do think Alexa can return soon, though.
I'm
pretty sure she's going to come back.
She had a kid. She's got cancer.
I don't think she wants to... She has 2 kids, and if she has cancer, I don't think she has what? To this.
Skin cancer. And 2 kids.
2?
Yeah, I think that's what it says here.
She just had her second one.
Yeah.
What? No, that was her first.
No, hold on. We're finding out live on the radio.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm pretty sure she just has one, right?
Alexa revealed she's expecting her firstborn on December 23rd.
See? What the hell are you guys talking about? She just has one.
Whatever.
That's crazy. Cancer. She's not coming back. Anyway.
Hey, Roman beat cancer. He came back. All right.
Okay, well...
Alexa could do it.
I'm not going to talk about that. Any closing thoughts, boys, before you wrap this up here? I think
we covered everything, man. I think we covered all the...
Huge episode.
Huge episode, and we're leading up to what could be the biggest WrestleMania of all time.
And the next episode is going to be even more crazy because there's just so much to talk about.
It's going to be the review.
Apologize to all of the Spotify listeners. We did not get
last week's
episode 6 uploaded. You'll see episode 6 and this episode 7.
Both at the same time.
Sorry to flood you with a lot of content if you're a Spotify only listener, but that's why we do encourage you to check out our YouTube.
Yes.
Where we do upload every week, every other week there. We try to record on a bi-weekly basis. This does mean our schedule lines up for our next episode to be WrestleMania weekend. However, we are going to
it'll be the week after.
We're going to take a break for that and do it the week after.
But we might do some live reactions over WrestleMania weekend. So
on social media.
Yes, please
Instagram.
Look out for YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We're posting to as many places as we can. We'll try to get some shorts, try to get some reactions.
And if you are watching on YouTube, you can go ahead and actually go to our Spotify where we actually have a couple more episodes predating our YouTube's.
Yes.
Our YouTube.
Yes, there are a few episodes from last summer post Fan Fusion, and there will be some more exciting Fan Fusion related episodes this year. Of course, be on the lookout for that.
Yep.
Be on the lookout for your potential involvement at Fan Fusion again. We'd like to see you there. Like to see you involved in the videos.
If you want that, if you want a sweepstakes over WrestleMania weekend, go ahead and get this video to 15 likes and 150 views before WrestleMania weekend. That way we can announce what the giveaway will be, and we can.
So in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, so that you have 2 weeks to get a
little bit under 2
out.
weeks, so like 13 days.
Yeah. So this is Saturday, the 23rd. Hopefully, I get this out by the 25th. Monday is usually our upload date.
Yeah.
Anywhere between noon and 6 p.m. Depends how long it takes to process. 4K Ultra HD. Wink, wink.
So the next episode will be coming out the weekend after the 13th.
We will record.
It'll be because we'll record the 13th and then it'll be up by like the 15th. So almost a month because of WrestleMania weekend happening. But I'm sure everyone understands because we want to be tied into the shows. We want to be able to absorb everything and actually talk about things.
We'll do the reviews for all the major cards. And then, like I said, we
have to talk about Raw and SmackDown. So we need that extra week to be able to absorb everything.
Yes, we're having a big week there. 2 days of Mania. Post Raw, post SmackDown are
plus
always
we have
great.
Send and Deliver too. That's on Friday, right?
Yeah.
Pay-per-views.
On Saturday morning.
Saturday morning. Okay.
So it leads into Mania.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we have all of that happening. So I'm sure everyone understands. I'm sure you're all going to be watching as well. So if there's nothing else, then I think we just sign out, guys. All right.